Welcome out to the Nerd Effect Podcast. What the fuck? What just happened?
I'm your host, Mason, and joining me today are...
No. Wow.
I think I broke Dustin, which is hilarious.
You kind of broke me too, so yeah.
I have a horrible feeling this was all pre-planned prior to me coming here.
I didn't know about it.
I just thought of it.
He's just an evil mastermind. I'm going to start calling you Gru. Like from Despicable Me.
Welcome out to the Nerd Effect Podcast, episode number 19. After a riling first try.
There will be an outtake at the end of the podcast, and if there isn't, I do know where Dustin lives.
What? At the end of the podcast?
Or at the beginning, either
And now
way.
we have
I thought
your threats on recording, so that wasn't very smart.
Well, if you heard it at the beginning, then you've already heard it. If you hear it at the end, which is probably where it's going to go.
You'll hear it at the end.
Just stick around after the ending music, and all will be...
To learn a great new swear.
Yeah.
Thanks to our own Nikki Prindle.
Yeah.
Mason tried to play a joke on me, and it broke my
Succeeded.
brain.
It succeeded
That was not an
spectacularly.
attempt. That was success.
Yeah, it seriously broke me in half. Anyway, I am one of your hosts, Dustin Vancouver, and I am joined with my three homies.
Michael Morgan.
Mason Ireland.
Nikki Prindle.
Yay!
I feel like we're on a kids show. Yay!
We're kind of back to our regular thing. But it is the holidays, so this time around we're going to give you a little holiday gift guide. This time around, we'll have our normal news, which we're going to come up here shortly, and then we're going to kick it off. So let's start, shall we? Nikki,
Yes!
tell us about NASA and their sexy lingerie line.
Welcome back to Nikki's Tinfoil Hat Corner. Today we will be discussing new spacesuits because NASA, I almost said NASA. That's way cooler.
If they did have a fashion line.
The Nazassa
The
fashion
Nazassa
by
fashion.
NASA.
Again,
Nazassa by
payments
NASA.
can be made to PayPal@nerdeffects.com. So basically NASA's been reworking their spacesuits in a tank in Texas, trying to make them... It actually says on here that they're testing its wardrobe for a future Armageddon-esque mission. So you guys, those asteroids that other countries, I can't remember what country, Japan's building cannons to blow up, our NASA people are working on figuring out how to walk on them.
Well, you do gotta look fabulous too when you do it.
It does have a really nice orange vest going on. There's a video that you guys can watch in the link it's pretty fashionable.
You know, so people can see you when
Yeah.
you're crossing the street on that.
Exactly. They call them
Safety
pumpkin
first.
colored in this article. It's a very brief article, but there's a little video where they show you some computer animated stuff and some dude in a tank. It's just basically easier to maneuver in for doing things like fighting aliens in space.
And on a side note, I actually saw another article about an engineer at MIT who is working on an even smaller spacesuit, but it is intended to be used within something with a partial atmosphere.
Like another planet?
Like specifically, she's working on them with the idea of them going to Mars.
Guys.
We're that much closer to waters than Mars.
We don't want that.
I think there was actually another rover
Drink the water.
too that recently, right? The rover had discovered some sort of
Freshwater.
Oh yeah,
evidence
the
of
water rocks.
yeah,
I think is what
water
they called
rocks.
them. Yeah.
Evidence of at one point on Mars there being a standing freshwater lake.
They said that if you were dying of thirst, you could probably drink it, but you wouldn't want to bottle water and sell it from that source. Was one article I read, which I thought was a very entertaining way of.
Dude,
putting
I
that.
would so bottle that water if I could find it on
Mars
like
water.
that.
Do you
Mars
know how
water?
much money you could charge for Mars water?
I know.
Especially now that there's not any
Yeah, I know.
and you could filter it too. So.
filtered Mars water.
I wouldn't filter it. I'd sell it with all the rocks in it and everything.
I would filter it. I've seen Doctor Who. I know shit.
I know what happens when the filter breaks.
So that was my...
Bad thing.
It's true. But, I mean, now we'll be able to walk around on Mars and drink our bottled Mars water and spacesuits. But asteroids, you guys.
Fabulous.
I'm telling you, they're working on cannons, on spacesuits for an Armageddon-esque mission. They
I was
know
saying,
things.
If the Armageddon mission's coming, there better be some Aerosmith involved. That's all I have
As
to say.
long as they've got Steve Buscemi up there straddling the nuke.
Yeah.
As
You
long as
know.
they can promise me Bruce Willis is going to go down with the asteroid too.
Wait.
But that might cut out Expendables 4.
Can they... Wait, have they filmed the Batman and Superman movie yet? Could they send Ben
Filming.
Affleck up there? Like, help things out?
Don't want to close my eyes.
I don't want to fall asleep. Because I miss you, baby. And I don't want to miss a thing.
Oh,
I am so
karaoke
not
night on the Nerd Effect. I swear to God, we haven't been drinking. We're just naturally this crazy.
Oh, you guys haven't been drinking? Oh.
I don't
Oh, no,
do
I
that
haven't
anymore. Really?
Yeah,
I did enjoy some peppermint schnapps and cocoa this week. It's delightful. Makes it feel less cold out.
Yes, it does.
I'm pretty sure that peppermint schnapps should be considered mouthwash because I swear to God, I tried drinking some of that straight just because I was curious. It's Listerine.
It is.
I'm putting Listerine in my cocoa.
Weird.
Peppermint schnapps is harsh. If
It's pretty minty.
Oh, peppermint schnapps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I wasn't
tuned
really
out for a
putting
second.
Listerine in my cocoa. That would be really nasty.
But hey, you'd have clean teeth.
No, I think they would cancel each other out and it would just poof into non-existence. Because that's what happens in my brain when things cancel each other out. Mike, you had news.
Mike,
Yep.
tell us about how Google's becoming Skynet.
Yeah, so Google has acquired Boston Dynamics. They are a robotics company that's made several models that are based on natural animals and movement. So they got a project they've been doing called Big Dog, which is designed to be cargo transport for troops. So basically a four-legged transport that follows troops around.
Oh, I saw that video. It has weird jointed legs that bend
Yeah, and
interestingly.
that's some pretty cool video stuff they had with the testing of it. Guy comes over and tries to push it over sideways and it doesn't fall over, stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
That's a really cool video. It's neat that they
And
do that.
they had another one, it's a bipedal pet man video. And they got like a camo suit and a gas mask on it. It looks like a frickin' guy walking on a treadmill. It's crazy how good the movement is.
I don't like it.
Mhm.
You want to come over to my tinfoil hat corner?
But yeah, I mean,
There's room
Google's
for two.
been apparently on this kick doing a lot of acquiring for robotic companies recently, and this is kind of a big move. And then everybody's of course like, okay, so what the hell is Google doing? Yeah, so
Google's got robots. Amazon's got drones.
yeah.
We're screwed.
But who did the drones come from?
Did they buy them on Google? I don't know.
They're Amazon. I'm sure they bought them from themselves.
Yeah. But they got the software on the Google Play Store. It's Android.
It's an app.
It's an Android app.
Oh, God.
Ba-dum. It's a
So,
small
yeah,
world
interesting.
after all.
Stuff.
And the cheetah, that was the one where it was like the.
Oh yeah, it actually like runs.
Yeah, it can like bank pretty hard too, which is pretty interesting. That was the most recent one I remember seeing. Was in fact, that's actually the picture they got up on the link.
Mhm.
But that thing, watching it run was just mind bending because you're just like tilt your head and look.
Is
at
that different than the one that they try and push over? Is that a different robot? I haven't seen
That was
that
a different one of the videos. If you go to
watched
the link, there's links to the other things. I got
Cool.
one for the cheetah, big dog, wildcat, and then if you go down towards the bottom, the one for Petman.
Cool.
Big Dog looks similar, except it's got two back knees and it's weird.
That's the one I've seen.
Yeah, it's got like that. It's got a frame, and then it's got packs on the side.
packs and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the one I've seen.
apparently it's gasoline powered.
So in other words, you're not sneaking up on anybody with that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
Stuff
If you
on it is, like,
watch the video with
troops.
the sound up, it is not a quiet robot.
In fact, I think they start it like a lawnmower. Don't they? Like a pull cord. Yeah. All right. All right, we good?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Sweet. So what does this mean for Google?
Google is Skynet, and we have signed over our lives to Skynet, and there will be a T1000 coming for you soon. I think that's what it means.
It's sort of like with the location analytics and phones. I kind of just accept that everyone knows where I am all the time, and robots are going to come kill me in my sleep someday.
Since I'm a technophile, I'm kind of good with this, so. Okay.
Yeah. It means we have cool things that are
Yeah.
shiny.
And I like my shiny cool tech
I
toys.
like my
You
shiny
mean
toy
I get
too.
a robot wife? Okay. Thank
Oh,
Google.
Jesus.
Like,
You know they're going to come out with a 7 of 9 skin for that, because they know their audience. They've got a target demographic, and it's nerds.
it's Mike.
It's Mike.
You'll have to wait till Jerry Ryan dies, though, because nobody's going to let that happen, I don't think, while she's still alive.
Depends on how much they pay her.
Yeah, I feel like she knows what her purpose was on that show, and, you know, has accepted that.
Mm.
It's true, I guess.
Yeah.
Mason,
Yes.
let's hear what you got. I see we got more from your K-pop people.
Yes. Sony Yoshide, Girls' Generation, on December 10th, released their third Japanese full-length album titled Love and Girls, or Love and Peace. Love and Girls was their second.
Freudian slip.
No, it was their second. Anyway, so, anyway. They released their third Japanese album, and I haven't been able to listen to anything else for the last 5 days. So,
Well, you said you had a review for it?
it's awesome. But unlike a lot of the Japanese releases, the songs have a lot more variety to them this time. Things from the typical quiet ballads that they do at least one or two of on each album, to very dance influenced tracks like Motorcycle. The second track on the album is heavily influenced by like very heavy like drum and bass and things like that. And the song Lips is very much inspired by 80s hip hop. So there's actually a lot of variety in the sounds on the album, which I appreciate.
No, very good. Speaking of music, hey Nikki, would you like to care to tell people who might be listening to this on a podcatcher such as iTunes and Stitcher and TuneIn and Mixcloud maybe why they should actually visit the site this time around?
Because we have a super special Christmas present for them, and it'll be a link at the bottom, and we're making a YouTube playlist of Christmas music that doesn't suck.
Much like we did with the Nerdcore selection
Yeah.
last time. So
We're still working on it. It's a work in progress because it is surprisingly difficult to find Christmas music that doesn't suck. And by suck, we mean the stuff that you hear over and over and over and over and over in the grocery store or your mom's minivan or whatever.
like Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas.
Jesus. Although I have to
And-
say, I do like John Lennon, his war protest Christmas song. I can't remember the name of right now. I really like that one.
Well, it's because it's John Lennon and he's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Beatles.
Since I don't work for them anymore, I feel like I can say this, but if anybody in the higher up of the Radio Shack community is out there right now, for the love of God, do your employees a favor and take Mariah Carey's fucking music video off your Christmas DVDs.
You know,
Were you a bit traumatized there, Dustin?
On continuous loop, that song had to come on about once every 10 minutes for...
Oh my God.
I think
'cause the
that
DVDs
working
are
retail
short.
over the holidays ruins Christmas music for a lot of people. I know Ange, she went on disability, 2 years ago? She just started listening to Christmas music again, and it's only sometimes. Like, she's had, post-traumatic holiday syndrome. Like, she can't handle
It's
it.
true. It's a retail thing.
No, it is. It's a retail thing. She just started listening to Christmas music, and even then, it's in very small stints. She's on recovery. You know, it's
Get a copy
awful.
Of that, Max Headroom, Merry Christmas, Santa Claus. You guys ever see that?
I did, yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know who Max Headroom is, but I don't...
I don't.
I've known
It was
the guy.
amazing. I'm like in a department store on Christmas, some random time years back, and all of a sudden I'm hearing Max Headroom, and I'm looking over, and there's this video of Max Headroom on a TV at a piano, and singing Merry Christmas, Santa Claus.
in his usual.
You're a hell of a guy. And it was like, wait, what? Somebody actually did that?
Do you want me to add that to the playlist?
You know, if you can
I
find it, that would be pretty cool.
You know, can I make a Christmas confession, you guys? I just saw National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation for the first time yesterday.
Lol.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened, but I somehow have never seen it, and we watched it at Angie's sister's house, and it was pretty funny.
It's awesome.
Movie makes me so paranoid with my cables.
I was so sad when the kitty poofed up. I look at Angela like, he's gonna be okay, right? And she just laughs evilly.
There's an old man on a sleigh.
That's it.
Who's like me, just for one day.
Oh,
Besides the world like a huge
the robot guy.
Yes, Max Headroom.
Yeah, okay, I don't think I knew that was
He
his name.
gets no presents. He gets no fun. And he's forgotten when he's done.
I have to look
So
up
here's a
his picture
little
now.
gift.
What was he
song
from?
to him from me. Merry, 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 Merry Christmas, Santa Claus. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, so it'll be a growing playlist over the next couple weeks as I discover more Christmas music that doesn't suck.
I'll give you a couple of posts.
Yeah, you did, Mason. You'll be able to tell which one's Mason submitted.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Yep. Dustin's we need to find a replacement video for because of
Yeah,
copyright.
mine was Christopher Lee's Jingle Hell. And just hearing a 90-year-old man sing death metal or just metal in general is just awesome, especially when it coming from Sauron. So,
My contribution is largely like Twisted Sisters, Twisted Christmas because it just brings me immense joy. Yeah,
I think they really should make Kiss Saves Christmas.
they really should. Oh, I did add Snoopy versus the Red Baron. Have you guys heard that?
Yeah.
I love that song. It makes me happy, and it's one of those songs where it's like I know this gets played a lot, but it doesn't suck.
No, it doesn't. Play it a lot doesn't mean suck.
No.
However, Mariah Carey's version of All I Want for Christmas. Oh, God.
I did find some really good punk rock versions of that. I also added the oh gosh, I can't remember their name. The Canadian 12 Days of Christmas. The guys from Strange Brew.
SCTV?
Bill and Doug?
Yeah,
Or-
Bill and
Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the first day of Christmas, true love gave to me a beer.
Yep. Yeah, that's on there just because I don't think I'll ever get tired of that. It's actually a really good video of it. It's animated. It's pretty well done instead of just, pictures. That somebody
Ding, fries are done.
Oh, we gotta
write
get
that
one
down.
on there.
Oh god, I'm doing it right now.
Now do me a favor. Try and find the original Animaniacs one, because I swear
Yes.
to God, if somebody tells me that fucking Family Guy came up with that, I will punch them in the face. I am so sick of hearing people giving Family Guy credit for that song, but it came from
was
the Animaniacs.
I think that a lot of people who are old enough to remember Animaniacs just
Oh, and I can't remember which other ones they've done, but there's a couple of other Animaniacs Christmas carols that they've done.
okay.
Those have to
I'm
be
writing
too.
this down.
Actually, it may not have been Animaniacs. It may have been Tiny Toon Adventures.
I love Tiny Toons.
I'm pretty sure Ding Fries Are Done was Animaniacs.
I mean, it's the same
I
deal.
totally had a Babs Bunny stuffed animal growing up. My brother had Buster Bunny. 'Cause we loved us some Tiny Toons. Yeah. Okay, I'm writing this down as
Do
we
it.
go. But I also just got a bunch of music off my old laptop finally, and I had some Christmas music that didn't suck on there. I also need to go through and add a bunch of music from Christmas in the Stars, which is, okay, so there's the Star Wars Holiday Special, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Christmas in the Stars, which is like a Star Wars holiday album.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it actually was made by the same, like it's a separate entity from the holiday special. And it's kind of amazing, but you have to listen to it in order, so I'm not sure. So I guess I'll add them to the playlist in order maybe, and people can go through and listen to them. As long as Disney doesn't take them off the YouTubes.
Yes.
Fuck, I can't find it. It's nowhere on YouTube. Like I type in Animaniacs and Tiny Toons for Ding Fries Are Done, and the first 5 are all Peter from Family Guy.
Well, I remember between...
He's making his papyrus face right now.
Yeah. Well, actually, I remember that there was the original Animaniacs one. I'm pretty sure it was Animaniacs. And...
Probably took it down because it was some guy some guy just going full retard doing
Jesus.
I say that as part of the. It's a joke.
Yeah.
I know.
I know. It just
Don't go full retard,
made
yeah.
my brain hurt so bad.
And
I know
but-
it's not politically correct, though.
Oh, God. And he did the voice.
Durr.
but
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to
because I
hell.
remember the animation
pretty
was
much.
pretty, well, by today's standards, offensive. By the standards of the 90s, abso-freaking-lutely hilarious.
Isn't that amazing? Like, National Lampoon. I was pretty amazed what they got away with.
Yeah.
And it was a family movie, and we were discussing that yesterday. Like,
Blazing Saddles.
Yeah,
You
like-
cannot make Blazing Saddles
No.
today.
No, it's so funny. There's more
Where are the
swearing-
white women at?
There's more swearing now in movies, but I feel like 90s movies, 80s and 90s movies
Well, for
were so
70s,
much,
yeah.
well, but 80s and 90s, like animation and stuff too.
Yeah. You couldn't do Ren and Stimpy again.
For all the sex and violence and swearing that we have on TV now, you could get away with so much more shit in family,
Yes.
air quotes, family shows than you can now. It's, mind
Well, it's
boggling.
because it's all like underlying stuff. Like Shrek is a perfect example of that.
Oh my God. Yeah, I need to rewatch that.
Yeah, you can. It's a kid's show, but then there's like jokes that kids are definitely never going to get. But parents are
No.
like,
Yeah.
Like Tom Selleck
Tom Selleck.
from Meet the Robinsons.
I haven't seen Meet the Robinsons.
Tom
Oh.
Selleck was Meet the Robinsons?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And they make jokes about his character's mustache looking like Tom Selleck.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that.
I don't remember.
Got a big old list of cartoons. We still haven't seen Despicable Me 2.
I've yet to see either of them, unfortunately.
I
I've heard
have-
they're great.
I have the first one. We're gonna rewatch.
I've
it.
seen the first like 30 minutes of the second one, but
Have
then we
you?
had to leave the theater because Evie was getting impatient.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Luckily, it was just
And-
a $1 movie that we had free passes to.
And
nice.
I have to say, she's still a little young to take to the movies.
Well, I mean, she wasn't loud. She was just getting impatient. She
Okay.
wanted to walk up and down the aisles and climb on the seats and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know, I was like, well, she's done.
She wants to explore the cool new place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, did you see hi, Jen and Brian Copel. We love you. And
Hi.
they had recently taken their newborn to friggin'
Yeah. And got supremely lucky
yeah, very, very, very lucky.
Where'd they take their newborn?
To the new
to Catching Fire.
Catching Fire. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't see that. I saw that they were talking about going to Catching Fire.
Yeah. They went and saw Catching Fire and took the newborn with them. And somehow
Slept the whole time.
slept
That's
the whole
awesome.
time. Yeah.
I have a shiny new baby niece and she's super well behaved, but I can't imagine her being quiet for 2 hours. That's a very good baby.
Yeah.
And Lullaby's a good baby, so that's an awesome baby.
Of course, Lullaby's 6 days old.
Yeah.
So all she does really is sleep still.
She's pretty cute. Her big sister is a pretty good big sister. I was holding her, she was fussing, and she brought the pacifier over. She didn't have pacifiers as a baby, so this is her first encounter with them.
Oh,
But
okay.
she's already figured out that that's what gets the baby to stop crying.
Good.
It's pretty
Smart kid.
adorable. Yep.
All right. Well,
Other news?
All right. I'll say
Okay.
my piece of news part 2 is more music related news. I've had a very musical week this week.
yes.
The best kind.
And it's I'm definitely late to the party on this one. But if you haven't heard of him, Miracle of Sound. It's a Irish guy who does a lot of covers, or not covers so much. He does a couple covers here and there, but most of his songs are original songs based off of video games and movies and literature. And he does some really cool stuff. And some of his songs, simply because of their names, could be their YouTube presence could be affected, or at least their monetization on YouTube could be affected, by what Dustin is going to talk about, the big hot topic of the week. Because he has songs such as his song Normandy, which is about Mass Effect, or his song Heng Sha, which is about, Deus Ex Human Revolution. And in a lot of his songs, he will mention things that are specifically from the games. So if somehow those terms are flagged under the system, if it can be done, his stuff might be in trouble as far as being able to promote his craft on YouTube and get money from people viewing it. and also other people who, such as Sneaky Zebra, who used his song Breaking Down the Borders for one of their cosplay videos on Borderlands 2. Which is where I got introduced to Miracle of Sound, actually, was that video. Their monetization of their cosplay videos could be in danger because of that too. So, and now we will segue into Dustin's news.
So the big news that's been on the internet for the last, just maybe less than a week or so, has been that the YouTube up and released out of nowhere their new YouTube Content ID system for copyright protection. There was rumors they weren't supposed to do it until January, but apparently they just threw it out there and it affected everybody. So the big thing right now is YouTube Content ID being flagged for basically copyright or violation of copyright and all that fun stuff. And obviously the world basically the entire YouTube community, people who monetize their content on YouTube are just arms in the air. Fucking, why would you do this? It's a creative license. We have a free creative license to do certain things. Why would you do this? Especially when it comes to streaming players, people who review video game content, movie content, and stuff like that, who might actually use clips from the media that they're reviewing or talking about. The biggest thing is that basically these, as reviewers, they're basically offering free advertising to the game companies. They're saying,
right.
They'll come out and say the game's awesome, or it's a 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. Either way, it's getting their game noticed or their product noticed one way or another. Also, I mean, I can't remember the name of this specific, like it's some sort of act. It's like the same act that the
Digital Millennium Copyright
parody,
DMCA. Or are you talking about parody? That's the First Amendment.
Well, it's almost the same idea as that. Like, even though it's the same song or whatever, it's different lyrics parodying off of that.
Right.
Which is what I think your guy would be protected under, because it's still a creative license based under.
His songs are original songs.
Right. And
Just
I think he
he's
was
as I showed you in the when I showed you his Breaking Down the Borders a little bit before, like he's talking about Sanctuary, which is a location, Siren, which is one of the classes, things like that. So
again, I don't think that he would necessarily be.
Those are also words that are just other things, though. So wouldn't that?
Right, but he is taking a specific reference. Is the thing.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, what had happened is that there's two big things out there, or two big reviewers out there that I've noticed that have kind of made a big splash on it. One of them was Angry Joe, and Adam Sessler.
And Total Biscuit.
I don't know Total Biscuit.
Really? He's way bigger than Angry Joe.
Probably.
No offense to Joe. I like Joe's reviews, but Total Biscuit's closer to the Cess in popularity. So.
And these guys, basically, took to YouTube immediately, got a video out. Sessler's was actually a Google Hangout that lasted for like an hour and a half.
Right. And included, Total Biscuit, some Canadian guys whose names, unfortunately, I can't remember right off the top of my head. And also some people that do marketing for video game companies, Devolver and Deep Silver.
Mm-hmm. I believe even since it first got launched, I believe there's actually been a few video game companies that have come forward and said, "What?"
Yeah.
I think I want to say Bethesda was one of them.
Bethesda was one of them. Deep Silver, Blizzard.
Yeah, and these guys went.
We're not talking small video game companies.
No, they just kind of came out and said, "You guys are dumb."
I believe 2K was another one.
2K, okay. And just so a bunch of big video game companies have come out and just kind of said, "Just let them use it."
Yeah.
And what sucked for the internet reviewers is that the monetization of these videos, especially for people who have a massive amount of videos out there, like Angry Joe and Adam Sessler, and Angry Joe even went as far out to point out and says, and ironically, wink, wink, it's all videos that have had over 1 million views that have all been flagged and shut down off my system, that have been he said, I think he calculated I think he tallied a total of like 83 videos of his that have all been hit by the content ID system. So, it's weird. Like I'm totally for these guys. These guys make a decent living doing what they do. They make enough money to support themselves.
They make enough money to support themselves and do what they love for a living. Mm-hmm. They're not raking in millions.
No, not by any means.
You know, like Adam. I mean, one difference is Adam Sessler works for Rev3.
So he probably gets a steady paycheck.
So he gets a steady paycheck because
I still don't understand how they make money off YouTube videos,
the ads that
advertisers.
Oh.
Yeah. But like Rev3 is actually part of Discovery Network, the people who own like Discovery Channel and Animal Planet and all of those. Rev3 is their, basically their online side, and Sessler works for Rev3 Games, specifically doing.
And he came
what
over
Sessler
from
does, G4.
G4, yeah, okay.
Right. So like Adam Sessler's in a slightly different boat. He has, Rev3 Games in general has the backing of Discovery's lawyers behind them. Mm-hmm. So they can actually go to bat if someone wants to try to really force an issue. Whereas like Total Biscuit, Angry Joe, you know, like these guys, they're not necessarily one-man operations, but they're really small. It's them and maybe a couple of their friends who do everything, who do the shooting of the videos, the editing, you know, the video capture, you know, all of that. So they don't have they don't have like the firepower from the lawyers if someone wants to jump on to, this copyright issue. Like one of the ones, one of the Canadian guys who that was with Sess was talking about, like one of his videos has a Sinatra song in it because it was playing as part of, they were doing a Let's Play and it was playing in the game. So, they were, so like that video got a takedown notice, or not a takedown, but a copyright violation notice. The takedowns are different, than this. And they've said this, a lot of them are guilty of misusing the term takedown notice. But because of that Sinatra thing, there was like a ton of companies that jumped on board with it because of how many people have owned the rights to Sinatra's songs at different times. So all of these companies made claims versus it. So he has to get clearance from all of them to be able to monetize that video again. You know, and like Nintendo is being douche nozzles right now.
That's usually there to.
Well, the thing is that for a long time, Nintendo was, something got flagged on YouTube for our content. Okay. You know, you dispute it and we'll just let you use it, you know, if you're a reviewer, you know. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're just, you know, and you know, if you're just, you know, like copying our songs out of our games and stuff and putting them on YouTube, we're not going to let you do that for money. But like, if you're a reviewer reviewing our games, we'll let you do that. But now they have 30 days to respond. Like, when you dispute one of the copyright infringements, the company that posted the copyright infringement has 30 days to either relinquish or reinstate. And now what Nintendo is doing is they're usually relinquishing, but not until the 30-day mark. They're holding it in limbo for 30 days. So, like, the important content of a game review cannot be monetized during the time when it's most relevant to the game, during its first month of sales. Yeah. So you can still produce the review and have it up there, but, you know, Angry Joe, Total Biscuit, etc., people who are doing this, and then trying to make their living doing it, they're not able to earn money when they would earn the most money from a review of a Nintendo game. Mm-hmm. But then there's other companies like, for example, Deep Silver, who they are the ones who now produce all of what was formerly THQ properties for the most part. They have the big ones like Saints Row, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They're like, you contact them. They're like, no problem. You know, you just send them literally a tweet with the link to your video in it. and they'll go and release it immediately because a lot of that stuff is old THQ holdovers that they didn't want to do with. So, and Blizzard's the same way, one company, I can't remember who it was. I think it was one of the companies that Devolver works with, were like, here, we put up a web page. Yeah, Devolver did it. They put up a web page saying that any of the games that they deal with the marketing with, you're allowed to use their footage in your reviews. And, you just point YouTube to a web page that says, we're fine with it, and it releases it. But yeah, a lot of the problems aren't coming from, the video game companies themselves, but like music companies and stuff like that.
Yeah, for like background music that people might be using and whatnot. Like that's actually what I was going to bring up. That's like the big contention for us. I mean, we're tiny, we're small time,
right?
But I mean, we've done a lot of Doctor Who stuff. I put Doctor Who quotes in some of our podcasts and stuff like that, and music and stuff. And we have sound bits from our Nerdcore episode, I think, that mixed in there.
Yeah.
So,
there's a couple of things. They have to be of a certain length before the system can even catch them. And like, if like you had the Doctor Who theme or the Star Trek theme playing in the background, but then had us talking over it, it would never catch it.
Like even me talking over the intro of our Star Trek.
I was just thinking that.
It'll probably never catch it because of...
But it's also parody though too, because I'm parodying the...
Right. Well, it's parody and basically used in a review.
You shouldn't get knocked for talking positively about a thing that you're enthusiastic about and having the music playing.
The idea is simply comes down to you're making money off
We're
somebody
not,
else's
though.
content.
Well,
we have not made any money.
Well, we're not. But
I monetized our YouTube videos. Not that we're making anything on them.
I was to say, how's that working out?
It's not yet.
It's not yet. But,
there's a long time to go until YouTube sends us that first check.
I mean, I just had it pulled up here, but our Doctor Who thing that we did at the theater is up to 162 views. Which I guess that's not bad. We got our first comment on it from Chelsea, our second interview that we did.
Oh, cool.
So it was good that somebody had reached out and noticed and said something on it. So Chelsea, if you're listening, thanks.
Hi, Chelsea.
But it's a big fiasco, and I understand YouTube and Google. Being that YouTube's part of Google, I understand them wanting to be neutral. I mean, I get that from their legal standpoint, but. The letting the big companies basically run roughshod over the little guys, these bigger companies are going to start losing in the court of public opinion. And they only have to lose in the legal court once before they tumble like a house of cards.
Well, and this is also right on the heels of, I forgot the acronym for like PISPA or, what was the?
CIPA? CISPA.
Yeah, or it was the big one that they were trying to pass in government saying such and such, you can't use such and such ID content, blah blah blah. Basically, a bunch of that guy with the glasses crew, I think actually went to that court meeting in D.C. if I'm not mistaken. But that was a big one. Then that one got farted out like a breeze, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Gross.
They're going to try to bring it up again, though, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm sure YouTube will be right there with them. Which is weird, because I don't think, the other thing, too, is I don't think YouTube is trying to be
douche nozzles?
Malicious either. They're just trying to protect themselves on top of it.
Well, they're trying to protect themselves. The problem is that the big companies, if they are so inclined, could easily be douche nozzles. And like a lot of these random like companies who hold rights to music, who only hold it because of the holdovers of the old systems, they're going to try to defend what they think is theirs to the bitter end. Mm. And all they have to do is lose once under the First Amendment and they're done. So it's better in their interest to just play nice.
There was a really good quote at the beginning of the previews and Man of Steel when we watched it today that was like exactly what you just said. And it was heroes have to win every battle and a villain only has to win once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, this thing is that like, but it's kind of backwards from.
Yeah, it was, but it just made me think of that.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was a really great quote.
Yeah. But yeah, the court of public opinion is going to rally against any of the companies who are being douche nozzles and saying, no, you can't do this. Because one of the things about gaming in general, as fractious of a community as it is at times, with people, being jerks or trolls or whatever, being 13-year-olds on Xbox Live, there's a lot of us who are willing to rally together to save what we love. And that includes, people like Adam Sessler, and the rest of the Rev 3 Games crew, and Total Biscuit and Angry Joe, and just every day, day-to-day gamers like, those of us here who, we're not making, it is not our lives to review video games, at least not yet. But, I'm not saying it would be
that
a bad
would be
career.
so cool.
But yeah, it's the public opinion is going to, in the long run, just weigh in, I think, on the side of the game reviewers, and any of the companies who want to try to stand in the way of that are going to lose in more than one way. Because they're going to lose public opinion because people are going to think they're even bigger jerks. Like I think it's kind of funny how EA's remained silent. If I was EA's PR people, I'd be like, dude, we got to jump on the bandwagon of being the good guys in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're looked at it to be one of the worst companies in video games anyway. We got to look better because, people who are already considered the good guys are reinforcing the fact that they're the good guys with Bethesda and Blizzard. So, if I was EA, I would have been really quick on jumping on we will let you, use the sounds and, sites of our video games and your reviews of our video games.
I know I would be like, what are you talking about? Why are you YouTube? Get your head out of your ass, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get Google's stance of having to protect their own butts because there's a lot of people who would like to take a piece of the Google pie. And
Google Pie.
Yeah. But the
digitally tasty.
Yes.
Digitalicious.
Ooh, Digitalicious. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, Google, I mean, they could afford to lose billions and not really notice. But at the same time, they don't want to lose billions and, and I get that.
I'm pretty sure Google would notice billions.
Well, I'm sure they would notice billions, but you get my point.
I hear you. So yeah, this would be a good topic for you guys to, email us on or
chime in, you guys.
Yeah,
yes.
we'd love to hear your guys' opinion on this because I know here's what's detrimental to it. I just read a quote from Angry Joe on this. It says, so Joe Vargas, also known as Angry Joe, says, I quit my job. This is coming from the Kotaku link. It says, I quit my job 4 years ago and it was really fucking risky at the time, Vargas says. And the risk paid off because I poured myself into this 80 hours, 70 hours a week. I've been doing this for the past 4 fucking years with no vacation and now it's all in jeopardy. I have no idea what to do.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of paints a picture as to what these guys are doing. It's a form of entertainment to these guys, it's, and that's, and it's not a job for them, or it's,
well, it is a job.
It's like being in TV without
being
benefits and job security.
Yeah.
What little they have.
So, knowing that these guys actually, do work hard to do what they do, it's just something that they happen to love to do. The thing is that the general community also kind of snuffs their nose at it, but like, probably just like, get a fucking real job. And that seems to be some of the response to some of these guys.
But then they'll go watch the YouTube videos. It's like, well, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. And it's part of the whole new media thing. It's like G4 is is gone, but G4.
Nerdist absorbed a lot of those guys from G4.
Yeah, they did.
But
Jessica
still
Chobot does a thing
Bummed
for them
that
now, too.
it's gone, though. I miss Attack of the Show so much.
Honestly, the one I miss the most is, I can't remember the name of the X-Play. Of course, was Adam Sessler. So, but like, it's part of the whole new media thing where, you know, I care more about what's on Nerdist and Geek and Sundry than I do what's on ABC and NBC.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Skippy.
You know,
We decided to stop paying for cable and start paying for Netflix and Hulu.
yeah.
Yep.
And it's cheaper and you get a lot
And
more.
the old school train of thought does not know how to monetize that in a way that
Right.
they think is
profitable
enough. Yeah, they're
Yeah. And yeah, so
I'd imagine radio people felt the same way when TV came around.
probably.
Yeah,
But, you know, like, you know,
with the program, Grandpa.
that's part of it is you have to get with the program.
Yeah,
And I'm sure I said things like this years ago. When the internet gets faster, you know, we're talking back in the days of like dial-ups.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were lucky, you had a, like 256K frame relay.
and then somebody would pick up the phone and you'd just be fucked.
Yeah.
Like we still had in Burley in 2005. You think they would have? And I think actually while I was in Burley, they actually upgraded to cable internet when I was at Radio Shack while I was there.
My parents had Windows 94. Like, it wasn't even 94. It was like 4.1.
Oh.
It didn't even have a year before it. They had that until my junior year in high school.
Wow.
But like back in the day, like, you know, I could see that the internet was going to become more and more of an entertainment platform. And part of it was one of the things I always hated about television was having to be there at the time they wanted me to watch the show.
Oh yeah, like DVR was like the next step in that progression.
And now we have Netflix and Hulu and YouTube.
Thank God.
You know,
What did we do before binge watching, you guys? Seriously. I used to have time on my weekends. It's crazy.
Well, that's when we were in high school and didn't give two shits about much of anything.
but there's, you know,
Yeah, you just had the TV on and you didn't care.
Yeah, now I wake up at 7 and I have it playing while I do stuff around the house. And it's great.
Well, that's why we get nostalgic about things that we used to grow up with, because that was the shit that was on when we had time to watch TV.
That was the option. We didn't have all the options.
yeah.
Oh, God.
So yeah, as I just think it's part of the new media is it was kind of inevitable when the internet became commonplace, and the bigger companies that, you know, control television and cable and stuff now are just going to have to learn how to deal with it,
the fact
or
that-
they are going to eventually die. And
Slowly and painfully.
Well, and the fact that the major networks like NBC, ABC, Fox,
Yeah.
and all those guys jumped on the Hulu bandwagon was probably the smartest move they'll ever
Yeah.
make in the next 20 years.
it probably is. And the thing is, it's not that they necessarily make bad content.
No, they make great content.
It's that I don't want to, one of the big things is I don't want to have to consume the content on your schedule.
Mm-hmm.
A live event, I get, like, you know, a live sporting event or something like that. That I understand.
Go sports.
Which Sony just released a new live events app that is basically a pay-per-view app.
Can you put it on your TV? Because that would make
It's on
Angie's
your
day.
It's on a PS3.
So when you get your PS3, you put it on there.
I haven't tried it
That's
yet,
what happened.
but I did see that the last like WWE TLC match that they had
That's pretty cool.
was on there.
Because that's
And
the
it's
that's
also-
the one
it
thing
also
that drove
does
me nuts when we
on-demand
got rid of
stuff, so-
cable was the lack of sports.
Yeah.
They have you can actually I don't know if you actually have to have the NFL Sunday ticket or anything like that to go with it, but they do have something like that on the PS3 as well.
All I know is I got excited because I saw that Adult Swim had an app for your phone and it said that you could watch streaming videos of Adult Swim TV shows, and I did a happy dance and I downloaded it, and then it asked for a login.
There's a bunch of Cartoon Network shows on Netflix too.
They want your login, and I think you have to have the
It's a
cables.
subscription.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even if you get the app, you still need to have
The only
cable to
pers-
watch. That's the stupidest thing I think I've
like,
ever heard
well,
of.
one of the things I heard, I haven't got the chance to verify it yet, but HBO Go is going a la carte and you can go buy an internet only subscription.
You can't get HBO Go on my. They don't. It's not applicable. applicable for Vizio TVs, which is what we have. You can't get HBO Go on those.
So maybe they just didn't.
Okay,
have
so you hook your computer up to your television.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Okay.
You know,
You and your damn brains and your logic and your...
I don't even have cable anymore.
Yeah.
yeah, but like
it-
with
We
with
got
everything
an
from my
antenna so that Ange can have her sports
But-
and her network television shows that aren't on Hulu and Netflix, and that's the only thing we have.
but like with HBO Go possibly going so you don't actually have to have an HBO subscription via your satellite or cable provider and just letting you pay for a subscription
That's
online.
pretty smart.
Smartest move ever.
Yeah, because I love Game of Thrones. I'm willing to pay legally for Game of Thrones as long as I
Never
don't
seen
have
it.
to. You should.
I know. I want to. We did watch the South Park that makes fun of it.
Seasons 1 and 2 on Blu-ray.
I know. I need to. I don't think Blu-ray is going to be happening for us anytime soon because our dog sucks. Yeah.
PS3.
Yeah. No, our dog sucks. We're not going to be able to afford a PS3
Oh.
because he's got allergies to food. So we have to start buying hypoallergenic dog food, which is $90 for a 3-week supply unless we can figure out something cheaper. Yes, the face that you made is what I was doing all day yesterday. I gotta wake up at 8 and start my day off with that news.
This is why we don't have a pet right now.
I might be
We can't
driving to
afford
Ontario and smuggling back dog food.
Remember kids. A dog just isn't a one-time purchase.
Yeah.
No, we've spent more on our dog than we have on my scooter at this point, and yeah, that's fun. Like, we knew a dog would be expensive. We planned for it to be expensive. Our dog?
Is a special kind of
Really?
Super
expensive.
special. Like, gold-plated short bus special. Like, and he's cute, and he's kind of worth it.
Oh,
Well,
I can't say that about my daughter. She's kind of
yeah.
worth it.
Well, we don't have to pay for college, though. So, like, if we get the food
No,
thing
but
figured out, I
But
mean...
you have to pay for her living for about just as long, so...
Yeah, no, yeah, but then you gotta pay for college and a wedding, and, you know, he's a dog.
So
So,
dog is
get-
cheaper than kids.
we're hoping. We've yet to see that be true.
Don't they have like a... God, I'm totally derailing this, but don't they have like a
Sorry.
cheap option somewhere? Like
Yeah,
Zamzow's?
Purina makes it. It's hypoallergenic. Says it on the label. Idaho's government doesn't like that it says hypoallergenic on the label, so you cannot buy it or get it shipped here.
Because Idaho is douchebags.
Yeah. And they didn't want to change their packaging for one state. Two, including Florida now, actually.
So
Florida's-
2 states, but
Yeah.
really,
Not worth it.
Florida's always a douche.
Yeah, so is Idaho.
Florida's always the
We're
exception.
learning.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that makes
Our
Florida
vets-
the penis and we're the butthole?
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
pretty much.
Yeah, we're the
Nice.
assholes.
So we live in the love hole.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
But yeah, so our vet's looking into a third option, but it's looking like no PS3 for us this year because dog.
Aw, I'm sorry.
You can't play Blu-rays on a dog. It's...
You can try.
I think
I'm sure
he just-
Canine can.
We could trade him in.
For Canine? Hell yeah.
I bet Canine doesn't have food allergies.
I'm sure he doesn't.
No, I love my dog.
He also comes loaded with weaponry.
Yeah.
I do love my dog. He comes loaded with weaponry too. He's just too big of a wuss to use it, which is good.
Oh, like me.
I wonder if he can make dog food.
You can, but see, the thing is, his body recognizes proteins and starches as allergens. So this hypoallergenic dog food is processed in a way where the proteins and starches are broken down so small that it doesn't trigger those receptors.
Yeah.
They're breaking down.
Histamines lay across 2 receptors, and that's what makes your body go bleh and freak out. And his body's interpreting proteins and starches that way, whereas this food, it's broken down so small that it doesn't do that.
I see.
My vet taught me things.
Science.
I did a science!
That
Yes!
I'm
was
sure
a
that
science
sounded
high
really
five.
good on the podcast.
That was awesome.
Science! High five. Ah!
And then you had to recap it and just ruin it.
Yeah.
I did, because it was exciting, and I was... Oh my God.
Science is
So should we get to the subject matter of tonight?
We
Well,
have
hold on.
shit to talk
In
about.
other awesome side news, we'll make this real quick. Hey, Mason
Yeah.
and Mike, what's
Yeah.
really shiny and awesome to your left?
Nikki?
Oh no, not quite. But
Oh, do you mean
I'm shiny and awesome, and you
Yeah.
said no.
you are shiny and awesome?
Thank you, Mason.
But I think he
glaring
is
at
referring
Dustin.
to
I know the mics aren't picking it up.
our spiffy, brand new nerdeffect.com.
How come you didn't ask me
business
about them?
cards? So some of you lucky people out there will get handed ones or stuffed in your face or whatever you want to call
We
it.
will throw them at you
We will
Gambit style.
Yeah, throw them at you Gambit style.
But not hard enough to kill you. It's okay. And they don't explode.
Yeah, and we can't charge them with plasma and make them explode.
Mike's making them audible so you can hear them too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. This is what. Oh, wait. I have one in front of me because I forgot the name of our podcast.
They
This is
smell
what they
new.
sound like.
Hey guys, seriously smelling they're new. They smell new.
Oh, they?
Yeah.
That is quality cardstock right there.
when I first popped open the box, you get that fresh ink smell right in your
Yeah.
face.
I love that
Yeah.
smell.
It's good stuff. Hey, look, Jay's here. Derailing the podcast. That's good. So yeah, new business cards. So I really wish we would have had these at the Doctor Who event.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been
'Cause
nice.
That way we could have handed them out because Jen brought that up too. She's like, man, I really wish we would have had something to hand out to people
Yeah.
while we were there. But, so we had to verbally tell people to go to nerdeffect.com and hope to God that they rememred what we were talking about. Cause
Yes.
we kind of threw the mic in people's faces like,
Say words and go here.
who are you?
Yep.
So yeah, next time we'll have
Yes.
big paper or little
Small
business-
paper.
small paper.
Quality cardstock.
Tells you who we are, what we do. There's no specific
Sound
name on it.
quality.
It's more of an advertisement piece than anything,
Yes.
which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
And tells you where to go when you to find us. And in fact, if you follow us on Facebook, you've probably seen them already.
Yes.
He did take pretty pictures of the pretty
I did,
pictures.
and I designed them myself, which I'm excited about.
I did the words.
You did the word. You did the logo. Nikki did logo.
Well, you found a cooler looking mic than the one I put, so there's that.
Well, I like yours because it fits like an actual website. The mic that you
It's
that
a
I put on-
shiny, shiny mic.
Yeah, that's good for business card purposes.
And shiny purposes.
Yes.
Shiny purposes. So anyway, let's get on to the actual content of our show.
Oh, the things we're here to talk about.
All the things.
So welcome to the Nerd Effect Christmas guide.
Christmas capitalism special.
Yes, I like it.
Today is a
Yay.
good
I
day
think
for
you-
capitalism.
Honestly, I think
Buy
that's going to be the
things.
title of our show. I was just going to do
Capitalism
the Nerd Effect,
special.
the Nerd Effect
Christmas
guide.
capitalism special.
Christmas Capitalism Special. I love it. That is now the title of our show. Thank you.
You shop anywhere
Especially with
else?
the price on some of this shit. Like, I didn't put I tried to. I got a good range.
I tried to get a range too.
and I tried to go with various wallet sizes. So
Yeah.
So what say? We're just going to openly discuss it right now. We just go down the list of how people put it on here. We'll just go one at a time around the table until we're fully satisfied.
All right.
That's what she
Oh.
said.
That's, yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with me. Then we'll go to Mike. We'll go to Mason. Then we'll go to Nikki. Actually, hey, that's perfect.
That's,
Yeah,
I
that's
like
how it
that
works
we
out.
did that in our sitting order before
know,
we even got here, you guys.
You'd almost think it was on purpose.
I assure you, it wasn't on purpose.
I was just the last one to get home and had a computer.
All right. So my first one, also my most expensive one, and it was pretty much a no-brainer to me when I've pretty much had this in the back of my head for like the last however long it's been out.
Okay, also, I'd like to point out that with my list, I tried specifically to not pick things that other people were picking.
I know that's the hard part too.
Yeah.
isn't
I was just happy that I didn't randomly pick something that you guys picked.
it?
Actually, Mason did pick one I almost put on my list.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Okay. Yeah, I had to swap out.
We weren't
one of
very far off the rails. Keep going.
my- Sorry.
Okay.
We're talking about our list.
My first one, again, also my most expensive, is the Doctor Who series 1 through 7 limited edition Blu-ray gift set, which is pretty baller when you see the box set.
It
It comes
is
with a sonic screwdriver that can change the channels on your TV and your sound system and stuff like that. Make you feel like a time lord.
That was actually on my list, just the screwdriver remote at one point.
Yeah.
Before I changed it out.
You can get the remote separately. I
Yeah, you
think.
can.
You can
on
get it on
Think
ThinkGeek.
Geek.
The
And
Sonic Screwdriver
it's just-
Universal
yeah.
Remote.
But
I think you can get it in both 10th and 11th Doctor.
Angela thinks I'd be annoying with it, so we don't get to buy it.
How about the Harry Potter wand Universal Remote?
I'd probably be annoying with that too.
Okay.
Or the dog would eat it. He'd probably eat it.
Mike Dodd actually has this gift set. BBC fucking sent it to him. Like,
For
for
free?
free.
Oh,
What?
I know. I was.
we need to get more popular.
I
Oh
know.
my god. Okay, you guys, seriously, tell all your friends to listen to us so our numbers go up so BBC sends us things. Okay, thanks, bye.
Or
And
Mike,
also video game
Or Mike Dodd, if you're
Also
listening,
video
send
game
us your contact.
Yes. Or
Introduce us.
We need to talk to them.
Have our people call your people.
we don't have people.
We are
We are
our
the
people.
people.
Yeah.
So anyway, Doctor Who series 1 through 7 limited edition Blu-ray gift set. Currently going for $350 on Barnes & Noble. I've seen it cheaper on Amazon, but they're currently out of stock. I think it was $2.99 on Amazon a little while ago.
Yeah, it's
But,
not cheap.
Yeah, not a cheap purchase, but damn, it's cool for the
Yes,
Doctor Who.
damn, it's
so
awesome.
pretty. So many nerd points. You should be able to cash those in for things like that.
Yeah.
You need nerd points would be fun to have.
Screw bitcoins, you guys. Nerd points.
No, I'm kicking myself about not investing in bitcoins when they're
I
like a
don't even
nickel a
understand
shot.
what they
I know.
are.
They're
too old for this
essentially
shit.
international currency that is non-governmentally regulated. It's regulated by its actual market value, according to people. They at one point they were down to like a nickel a piece or a quarter a piece or something ridiculous, way less than $1 a piece. A couple of weeks ago, they were over $1,200 a piece. There are people who have made millions of US on them.
That's
My
so
my buddy Sid, if he's listening, has made several thousand, I think, off of Bitcoin. Because he jumped on the boat way early.
That's
Yeah.
mind-boggling.
Unfortunately, I did not have the foresight to jump on the boat when it would have been.
You
most
predicted that
opportune.
the internet would be a thing. That's good.
Yeah, that helped out a lot.
Yeah. Aw, kitty.
What I should have. So what I should have been doing was buying up fiber optic lines around the country and world at the time. And then then I could charge ISPs to access my lines.
I didn't hear any of
Such
that.
as
There's a
people
kitty
like
on the TV.
Google.
Yeah.
So when we figure out how to send a message back through time, that's the message you need.
I'm just going to go for the Bitcoin one. Screw it. It's easier. Less work.
Laziness conquers all.
Laziness and $500 would conquer all at that point.
Conquer a lot of things, yeah.
So, yeah.
Anyway, timey-wimey, Blu-ray.
Yes.
Mike.
Oh, we're
of
just
time,
doing one at a time. Wait,
Oh,
are we
we're-
starting at
we're-
the bottom of our list or the top of our list?
wherever you want to start. It's
Okay.
up to you.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
starting-
since we're-
middle of my
I'm just going in order the way I put
Since
it.
we had a Doctor Who themed thing anyway. So my first item on my list was the Doctor Who 10th Doctor coat. $329.99 on ThinkGeek.
It is pretty sweet, though.
It is an awesome trench coat.
I've seen some other coats which are basically listed as replicas, but they're more like costumes.
Yeah,
not
they're
actual coats. This is an actual coat.
What's
Right.
the other website that they did like the Kevin Smith Silent Bob coat? I can't remember the name of the. And it's about the same price, $350 or so.
Yeah.
It's like red something or red scarlet.
It's a color.
It's gonna bug me. Hey, Mike, keep talking.
Yeah. Well, I also had on my list the
Google's
Doctor Who
happening.
sonic screwdriver from the 10th Doctor, because, you gotta have something to go inside the pocket of the coat.
Exactly.
Oh, because they coincide with each other. I was like, why are you doing
$29.99. ThinkGeek, bam.
Woo! I have an 11 screwdriver currently.
It's because it's honestly a cooler screwdriver.
It really is.
It's a cool screwdriver. I like the blue.
But if you're gonna have
I-
10's coat, you gotta have 10 screwdrivers.
Right, no,
Almost
I'm-
got Angisonic for Christmas, and then I realized that I was really just trying to get it for myself and decided against it. I don't want to be that person.
Right. So, I'm going to break the Doctor Who trend for now.
Abby Shot. Abby Shot's the name
Abby
of the
Shot.
website.
How is that a color?
Well, I thought it was something, but like that. But I must be thinking of something else. But Abby Shot's the name of the website.
Are you thinking of his movie Red State?
No. His green wool.
I know what you're talking. I was making a joke, but you're talking about
Oh,
Red
maybe.
Scarlet.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Possibly. Oh, looks like they even have the 11 Doctor purple coat on Abby Shot too,
Oh.
which is $429.
So yeah, the first one I have on my list is the Glowing Critical Hit Die 20, available at ThinkGeek.com.
That was so going to go on my list and
For-
decided I can't go everything up. I think Gink. I got it.
I found myself doing that too, and that's
Yeah.
why I changed out one of my
So-
things.
The problem is that ThinkGeek is a great place to buy the nerdy
true.
people in your life gifts or yourself.
We could just call it the
gifts.
Think Geek ad episode, and maybe they'd send us free stuff.
I have a list, by the way, ThinkGeek,
Yeah.
if you hear that. Actually, my list is actually coming up later in my list. But yes, anyway. So the glowing critical hit die 20. When you roll it, rolls just like a normal die 20. If it comes up at 20, a red LED turns on and glows.
That's pretty cool.
is
That's
amazing.
awesome.
Is that the only time it comes on? Is when
Yes.
it's face up like that?
That's really
Only
cool.
when it hits a 20.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
All right. Now over to Miss Prindle.
Well, mine's not a product. It's
That is okay.
because, okay, so.
You can break the capitalism.
Yeah,
approve.
I'm sorry I ruined our capitalism episode, you guys. So I've been working on collecting donations. I learned, in case you aren't aware, I'm kind of a crazy cat lady. Like, it's just a little bit. I've only got 3 of them, and a dog that thinks it's 1.
Currently.
Yeah, currently.
Probably because you raised it like a cat.
We've had him less than a year, and we caught him jumping over the gate that separates him from the cat food to eat the cat food because he decided we weren't feeding him enough dog food. Or he's trying to turn into a cat.
But that's also just because he's a dog, and
God,
they
he's such a douche.
they prefer to eat all the
We had to
things.
switch the kitties to food he's not allergic to. We thought he wasn't allergic to because he kept getting at it. But we're not here to talk about my kitties for this item. I learned about a shelter in Indonesia called the Whiskers Syndicate, and she's the only cat shelter in her town, and it's basically not necessarily a culture that's super friendly to strays.
Right.
And this woman started just rescuing cats that she heard about, and it turned into a full-time job. Like, she quit her job this year and started doing this full-time, and then the typhoon hit. And now they've got about $5,000 worth of repairs that they need to do, which isn't a lot to us, but it's a lot of money over there. And she's a super, super nice gal. I've been talking to her on Facebook. Her name's actually Josie, which makes me happy because it makes me think Josie and the Pussycats. Exactly. This woman was born to rescue kitties. And, they've got an Etsy store where you can go and buy presents for your critters. They've got squeaky toys for dogs. They've got rugs and things for people. And basically all the proceeds go to help the shelter, and you can also donate to them via PayPal. And I had actually just been telling Ange, if I didn't need new clothes so badly, I'd be asking our families to just donate money to them for me for Christmas, because I feel for this gal. She quit her job right before this happened, and now she's on the verge of having to shut her shelter down, and there's not another shelter in their whole city. And she if you go onto their website, which there'll be a link of, she actually has a blog on there, and she tells stories, and she crawls under cars to rescue kittens and deals with, she puts herself in danger to save these animals, and now she's dealing with some financial problems. So that's the number 1 on my list, is people helping out them, because she needs it.
Help the kitties.
Help the kitties. And if anyone, no, I guess this is going to be going up probably after I'm trying to get the package sent out.
When are you trying to get the package sent out?
Well, I was going to try and send it out Wednesday.
It'll probably go up on Tuesday.
Well,
So it'd be closed. but
if
go
people
ahead.
listen to this, I'm working on collecting a donation box. If you're in the Boise area and want to contribute,
And by Tuesday, I mean late Tuesday.
yeah.
Right.
I might be able to put it off till Friday if that would maybe increase the chance of somebody hearing this and wanting to contribute.
That's up to you.
Yeah, I'll think about it. Maybe if you hear this Tuesday night / Wednesday morning and you want to contribute, shoot me a message on the Book of Faces. Yeah, because I'm working on putting a box of stuffs for them.
Or
together.
Nikki@nerdeffect.com.
Or Nikki@nerdeffect.com. Damn it, I have an email.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. And nobody emails me at it.
No one emails us at ours either.
That's okay.
We should email each other.
Actually, your friend Libby emailed me 3 times today because
Did she
apparently
really?
our forums is having an issue of not being able to post anything.
Oh my god,
So
I love
I
that
gotta
Libby
go.
was the first person to try and go on the forums.
She's like, I went in there and I signed on, I did my whole thing, and for some reason I can't post, and I can't find a link that'll allow me to do it. I'm thinking one of 2 things. Either there's a cooldown period from when you first sign up,
Right.
or, because I thought I had changed that so that when or I didn't change the permissions correctly. So
Yeah.
I'll have to go in there and take a look at that and see what the fuck happened.
Libby's awesome.
So thanks for pointing that out, Libby. I appreciate it.
I love that she's the one that noticed.
Thanks for since August we've been doing this show.
Yeah.
After 4 months, somebody's finally got onto the forums to try and do something.
Hey, somebody tried to get on the forums, buddy.
I also noticed that the forum still has my old, logo I created in Word.
Oh, how funny.
Yes.
That's funny.
So, yeah.
There might need to be some forum updating going on, like making the rest of us sitting around this table mods.
Yeah, that thing. And old
I'm just
Facebook
happy
mods.
that you updated the 4 guys talking nerdy tagline.
Oh,
that
yeah.
made me happy.
Cause I like our sign off, and that
Well,
seems
and
to
also,
fit
I don't
better.
have a wiener.
That's true.
Yeah.
At
There's
least not that
that.
one we know of.
Not that I know of. I think I would have noticed by now after almost 30 years of life.
I would venture, yes, you would have noticed.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of it, it was just like, what the fuck is that?
No.
How did I not see this?
No, pretty sure, nope. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, go donate money to kitties and buy things off their Etsy store.
Because we love pussy.
You just...
Why did you
I
have to
was-
take my nice thing and make it
Exactly. Exactly.
that? Ruin your own list. Don't ruin my list.
Any other
Hey.
situation, I would.
You know what my second thing is? I'm changing my second thing. I want Mike to not make gross jokes about my list.
I apologize.
Okay.
I make that joke all the time with my cats.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. I forgive you.
But it's a
Conditionally.
organization that's doing a
It's
good
a charitable thing that helps
And you
cats
turned
out,
it
and you
into-
had to make it gross.
Turned it into a
I
joke.
love cats.
I know you do, which is why I'm so disappointed in you right now.
All right.
And next one on D-Man's list.
Yeah, go
Okay.
back to your commercialism, buddy.
So, what
Back to good old commercialism and capitalism.
Good old American capitalism.
what would have been on my list if it would have been released on time would have been the Retron 5. Because I brought that up a couple months ago that the people who were doing that were going to release it, and they said they're going to have to delay the release of it because they wanted to make sure that all components were working correctly. I guess they were having some
People do that?
sound reproduction issues and some slight overheating, which I can imagine when you got one console that runs 5 different
Yeah.
things at once. So, but what I did decide to add was a portable version called the Retro Duo Portable SNES gaming system. It'll play both NES and SNES, obviously. Runs on batteries.
Oh God, how many batteries does that thing take up?
19C batteries.
Let's see here.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I just
The other cool thing too is that even if it's portable, it does. Oh man, how big was the screen again?
It's smaller than the label on the cartridge is wide.
Yeah. So I mean, it's probably about a 3-inch screen, I would imagine. And then it's got like an NES button or Super NES button layout. It actually can hook up to your TV and be able to hook up separate controllers to it, which is kind of cool. So you can.
Oh, it does have an adapter too, so you can plug it in. It looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you said batteries, I was just like, oh God.
Oh yeah,
So
sorry.
many batteries.
It doesn't run just on batteries. Yeah, you can plug it into the wall too. It comes with the adapter, dual controller ports. Okay, batteries, rechargeable lithium-ion battery.
Oh,
Ooh.
fancy.
I know. And all that fun stuff. It's pretty cool. It says it's all. Oh, that's why I see that adapter. Okay, so apparently, if you get the retro, there's also a retro gen adapter. It's a separate price. Actually, it's right here. It happens to be up here on the link. I think it's $30. $19 to $40. I wonder why that. Basically what you can do is it'll plug into a Super NES slot and then adapt Sega Genesis cartridges to it.
Oh, okay.
So, if you wanted to play Sega Genesis games on the portable for an extra $40, it looks like you can buy this adapter and do it that way too. There's also emulation consoles, portable consoles out there too that you can play ROMs on.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Most of which are dedicated Linux machines.
Pretty much. Yeah, they're just media.
Yep.
Media devices. So anyway, that's my recommendation. If you want to support a cool, like a little independent company that's trying to keep retro alive, it's $99 on Thinks Geek. So yeah, we'll just continue to advertise them. I wonder if they have a
An affiliates program.
an affiliate. Oh, hey, look at that, affiliates.
Oh my god, that would be cool.
We're so small. They
We've
wouldn't
name
even
dropped
care.
you 8 times.
Yeah, anyway, I might be making an email. Anyway, so Think Geek, they're awesome. This shit's cool. I'm a big retro gamer. I do enjoy retro. In fact, that'll actually lead into my next gift after this. But anyway, Mike, what is next on your list?
So next on my list was Snog Tees. So Snog Tees, it's snogtees.com. You go online there. They got lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of nerdy
Snorg
t-shirts.
tees, by the way.
Snorg? Did I say it wrong?
You said
You did.
Snog, which means making out in British slang.
Okay, yeah, I missed the R.
That's true.
So Snorg Tees, SNORGTEES. So there's
.com. Yeah.
Got it. .com. Specifically, they have the Coffee Time T-shirt, which I find is just phenomenally amazing.
No talkie but for coffee.
That's a good rule.
Well, it's like, Adventure Time,
Yes.
but it's coffee.
It's always coffee time.
And
I've
they're
been
fist
drinking so much
bumping.
coffee today.
My God. I mean, they're fist bumping. What else do you need? Okay.
Coffee and a fist bump.
I like
apparently.
the zombie robots and aliens Venn diagram.
Death to humans.
Death to humans all around. Plus, they also have the, be anything you can, except unless you can be Batman. That'd always be Batman.
I
Yes.
just enlarged the coffee time image, and the fact that the sword going through the word time is a stir stick is brilliant. Sorry, I get why you like it now. That's a great t-shirt design.
Okay, I'm good.
I do like Stork Tees a lot. This is actually one of those websites I don't go to enough because I tend to depend on the
Nowhere bad.
like Nowhere Bad, Rip
Shirt
Apparel,
Punch.
Shirt Punch. These guys are all cool because
want a shirt off.
they do these 1-day shots on shirts and they're dirt cheap. Like,
Oh god, when
like
you can hit their
$8,
grab bag sales, it's
$10.
the best. I've got one coming on and I have no idea what it is. I'm just crossing my fingers it's something that I geek out about. Cause I got a Breaking Bad one once and ended up giving it to Space Dustin because it was, I haven't actually watched it and I know I'll like it when I do, I just haven't.
Right.
And I felt like I would have been a liar wearing a Breaking Bad
And
shirt.
people like Breaking Bad would come
Yeah,
talking to
people
you
would
about
want
it.
to
and you've
talk
been
about
like,
it. I'm like, I don't actually watch it. I just bought this shirt on the internet. Yeah, I don't want to be that person.
Yeah, don't be that person.
so yeah, Snorg Tees is really cool, especially if you want a place that sells a bunch of shirts at any given time. You're gonna pay a little more for them, but they're gonna be available no matter what.
Right.
So,
As in, there's also Shirtwoot,
Redbubble.
Redbubble.
Maybe
and
that's
then-
why you were thinking colors earlier.
Yeah, possibly Redbubble.
Oh, maybe, I guess.
Yeah. And
Or not. God.
And of course, as we've talked about them so many times tonight, ThinkGeek, and also Jinx.
Jinx is nice because they have a bunch of exclusives.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they give Blizzard hand jobs.
Yeah, probably.
That's like World of Warcraft is like 90% of like the clothes they sell.
Yeah, that's where I got most of mine when I was playing still, but yeah.
Yep.
I think they even do the custom guild shirts. Do they not?
Yes.
That's a different company.
That was a different company, yeah.
Yeah. But there are custom guild shirts out there still.
Yeah. I think because my father-in-law has one that has his guild and all that stuff on it. Anyway. Mason.
So, looking for that present for that geek in your life. You know they're a gamer. You know they're a smarter gamer because they like their PC. So you're pretty sure that they have Steam.
What console gamer?
I know.
Okay.
You interrupted his fake commercial, buddy.
I apologize.
So, what do you get them? Because they play a lot of games. You're not sure exactly which game to get them. Well, get them a Steam gift card.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yes.
Until
Available
it runs
in
out of
20,
money.
50, and $100 increments. The link I put was for buying them at Best Buy for the $50 one because it's in the middle. But yeah, it's one of those things where, yeah, gift cards are oftentimes a cop-out, but sometimes it really is hard to keep up with what game your friend or your significant other or whoever is playing. So, yeah, sometimes it's just easier to get them the gift card because you know they love video games.
Well, and the other thing, too, is that I actually brought this up because I did a small gift guide for Mike Dodd's podcast, too, and one of the things I threw in right at the very end is, like, if you have a gamer in your life and you have absolutely no idea what to get them, Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus subscriptions, if you can extend their subscription for them without them having to pay for it,
oh yeah, awesome.
They will hug you for life.
Yeah.
Pay for their habit.
It's a lot of hugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want that many hugs.
And especially with the Steam machine
coming out.
Yeah. The 300 prototypes are now out.
Yes.
Which people are showing the unboxings of, and the guts, which are apparently packed tight.
Yeah. I am a little worried about the heat issues.
But the Steam OS is now available online too. Its beta, I believe, is available.
Or will be soon. I think is when I saw the article earlier today, it said will be soon.
Here's the thing. That was the actual Steam article to the Steam OS. I went back and I saw like a GameSpot review and stuff like that. It had links to where you can go to get it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I think I'll be honest with you. I was wrong.
Okay.
I totally sent you the wrong link. I should have checked what it said first before I sent it out there. So yeah, Steam gift cards will also come in handy for future console generations.
Yep.
Well, it also helps out because, especially with Steam, you get those Steam sales.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you buy a game for your buddy for Christmas, chances are he may pick up that game before he gets it on Christmas.
Right.
So this way you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. The Steam sale timing this year was brutally mean if you are planning on buying games for people, because they put the sale out from the weekend before last. So
Black Friday-ish.
Yeah. It was Black Friday weekend is when they put the Steam
Black Friday's fucking
Steam
insane.
Winter Sale. And yeah, it's a great idea to, possibly gift your Steam friends games that weekend. But they're going to pick them up before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but there's always going to be games in the future that they're going to want to. So,
yeah, I picked up Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas.
And Borderlands 2.
Because it was 75% off. Yeah, and Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
I also saw this last week, just earlier this weekend, I think it was Fallout 1, 2, and
3 were free on Good Old Games.
Oh, Good Old Games.
1, 2, and Tactics.
1, 2, and Tactics. Yeah.
Were free on Good Old Games. That ended on the 14th.
Yes.
But I definitely went and ordered them from Good Old Games, so I'd have them for later reference. I've played all of them before, and I'm currently into Borderlands and Dishonored, so.
By the way, that loud popping sound you just heard, that was my fucking elbow.
Oh, that's what that was? Okay.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, on to the Nikki again.
Do you like being comfy? Yes. Everybody, yes?
I love being comfortable.
Love
Nikki.
I love being comfy too. Do you hate having to choose between being comfy and being nerdy?
Yes.
Thank you for playing along with me.
Well,
Well, it's okay because then I'm not talking to you with your Mario pajamas. These are cooler. Because Think Geek, name dropping again.
We're announcing everywhere we see
has the answer to your problems. TARDIS,
What?
adult-sized. Oh, wait, no, wait. Okay, go.
What is the answer to my problem, Nikki?
Adult-sized TARDIS footy pajamas, Mason.
Why, yes, they are.
Now wait, what's that you say? But Nikki, my feet get too warm in footy pajamas because I have 8 pairs at home. Well, Mason, it's okay because you can zip the feet off of these.
Awesome.
Okay, that really appeals to me because I think footy pajamas are an amazing thing, and I've always secretly coveted a pair. But my feet get really, really hot at night, and I can't even wear socks to bed. So the fact that you can zip the feet off these, I'm just like, Angela, psst, psst. These are under our budget, and I'm pretty sure you could cram them in my stocking. They actually happen to be on sale right now. They're normally $40. They're on sale for $29.99 to $39.99. I'm assuming that's for the bigger sizes.
That's for the fat people sizes.
Yeah, I'm like a borderline fat people size right now.
They're not bigger on the inside.
So I'm not really sure how that.
Yeah, they
would
should be
work
bigger
out.
on the inside. They're
I
TARDIS.
think they're warmer on the inside is
Warmer
how
on
it
the
works because they're
inside.
jammies. So bonus features include, as I previously mentioned, zip off feet, which if you go click the link. First of all. Second of all, click the picture of the dude's foot because it's in a time vortex. It's the coolest background for a foot ever.
The time vortex is just generally one of the coolest backgrounds.
It's true. And then it also says public call box, police box across the hood, and
Nice.
it's just cool. You can look like the
So
TARDIS.
wait, it's not just footy pajamas, it's also a hoodie.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a hoodie footy pajamas with removable feet. It is like the fucking Cadillac of footy pajamas.
They are.
The fucking TARDIS of footy pajamas, even.
Yeah.
You'll have all kinds of like wibbly wobbly dreams and be cozier than you would be
And if you put
otherwise.
that, you could snuggle up in bed with those and watch TV from bed with your sonic screwdriver universal remote.
Or you could totally binge watch Doctor Who while wearing them and just spill food all over them and be that weirdo walking down the street in food covered TARDIS footy pajamas.
I would not wish to damage my
No,
TARDIS
you
footy
have to
pajamas.
hand wash them. That is the only negative side to these. So if you know a Doctor Who nerd who likes lounging in pajamas, make their fucking day.
You can also
Yeah.
complement that with a Doctor Who throw blanket and towel.
And don't forget your TARDIS mug.
I have a
I do
TARDIS
have a
pillow.
TARDIS mug.
I actually
And
have 2
in your
TARDIS pillows that I made.
And in your TARDIS mug, you can use your TARDIS tea infuser.
I want
for Earl Grey
that
tea.
was
If you want to be that
3
British.
millimeters away from making my list because I want that tea infuser so bad. But I have 3 tea infusers.
It's a cool looking tea infuser
It's
though.
awesome. Did you see that the thing on the end is a sonic screwdriver?
Yeah.
I almost crapped my pants. I love tea. And the fact that the two things can be friends, just, Think Geek, I do have to say I'm kind of sad because it entered your super cool countdown to the 50th anniversary, entered to win cool Doctor Who prizes every day. And I really wanted to win that TARDIS mug, TARDIS tea infuser combo, and it didn't happen. And I died a little on the inside that day.
My TARDIS mug is actually a semi-custom. Mine's from Etsy.
Yeah.
But,
I might just go to Ceramica and make one for myself.
do
Damn it, I want one.
We'll take pictures and post it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, can we have a Ceramica podcast? That'd be fun.
That would be weird.
Have you seen the
Yeah.
one where somebody made a garden gnome look Doctor Who-ish?
No, I haven't.
It's really cool. He painted the hat to look like the police box, and he
Oh, nice.
painted whatever the gnome's supposed to be holding to look like a sonic screwdriver. It's pretty cool.
All right.
Dustin,
All right, let's see here.
I bet you have more stuff on your list.
I do have more stuffs on my list.
Well, how about that?
So do you like things that fit into your stocking?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Do you like video games?
Yes, I
like
do.
video
Do you like
games.
retro video games?
Yes.
I hate them. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
this
That was a
isn't for
lie.
you to-
Mason messed up my commercial. I didn't mess up your commercial.
I didn't mean to mess up your computer. I
I
was
know
trying to
you
play
did.
along.
I know. I'm just kidding.
What I have for you today is a Nano Arcade Pocket Genesis. This thing is friggin' wicked looking. Like, I don't know how, it's like the size of a keychain. And it's got a little cable that plugs into the back end of it. And it plugs to your TV. And you get video games from your Genesis on the go. And it's really cool. I don't know how to describe it other than that. It's only $13. Wow, it is out of stock. It was literally $13 this afternoon. And
My thumbs are way too fat for those tiny, tiny buttons.
but,
It's cool.
It is cool looking. Actually, it doesn't look that bad once you look at the actual hand picture.
Oh, I didn't
But,
look at the hand picture.
But it's just got regular AV cables, the yellow and white. Plug into the back of the controller. Probably runs on it runs on a AAA battery, like literally a AAA battery. That's it.
That's so cool.
And it comes in two flavors. There's the the orange columns one and the white Virtua Fighter 2 one. Each one.
Virtual Fighter. I haven't heard of that game in a long time.
They make you choose between Dr. Robotnik and Golden Axe, those douchebags.
Oh, I would totally go with the Golden Axe one. That's a
I
no-brainer.
would too, but that's a hard choice. I love. Oh, and Flicky. Why do they hate you?
Well, they're only $13.99 a piece. There is a possibility you can
You
get
could get two.
two
Well, you
of
can't
them.
because they're sold out.
Well, okay.
But each one comes with 5 Genesis games and 5 bonus games, which, from what I understand, they're just basically like what would be on your phone, like pre-built.
Oh, okay.
like snake, and this is spider, bomber, hexagons.
Hexagons is a horrible name for a game. Hey kids, let's learn geometry with hexagons.
Maze 2010 and Fish Tank Live. I can guarantee you those were not Genesis games.
No.
I bet. But 2010, Dustin.
It was a game from the future.
What? Jewel Magic sounds like it's just going to be a Bejeweled ripoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
God, I love Bejeweled.
But basically one looks like it's aimed towards almost like puzzle games. So you got Columns, Flicky, Dr. Robotnik, and then the other one's aimed towards like beat 'em ups and fighters, which is right up my alley. So you get Virtua Fighter 2, Shinobi 3, Golden Axe, and Golden Axe 3, and Alien Storm.
Do you guys remember how much it used to cost to buy those video games?
Like $80 a shot.
And now you can pay $13 and get them on a thing that fits in your pocket.
Yeah.
We're living in the future.
We really are.
In all their full 16-bit glory. So anyway, that makes me super excited. Like I'm very gadgety. I like things like that, and if you appeal to my retro gaming heart at the same time, it just
Love you a long time.
The thing is, I like stocking stuffers like this because I like gifts that I look at and go, I would love to buy that, but there are way more other things on my list that I'd rather have.
Right.
So if somebody went out of their way to actually figure out a way to get that for me, so for Christmas or whatever, then that's when I get all because I would have never gone out of my way to buy that because there's other things I can spend $13 on that are maybe a little more valuable to me, but at the same time I really wish I would have had this type of thing. So that's kind of how I see some of this stuff. So anyway, I like this little thing. It's awesome. Mike, what's up? What's next? What's next on your list?
Well, I only had one more on my list, but I
Because
think
you
I'll
used
throw
two
in
of them
something
already.
else. Well, okay, yeah, I had
That's
two
what
on the
happens
same
when you
thing.
cheat.
Mike did it 2-in-1.
Okay, so
Fish noises. That was weird.
That's his attempt at pouting.
Are you sure?
Yes.
The saddest fish ever.
Anyway, go ahead, Mike.
Go, Mike, go.
So I'm going to throw this one out there. Worst things for sale on the internet.
What?
It's a blog.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not on the list. It's a blog.
You can buy a blog?
Why do you want that for Christmas?
Go look at it. It's wow.
Is it like Craftastrophe? Because that was a great blog that I stopped following for no reason.
Funny because it's like literally the worst things for sale on the internet.
That's pretty cool.
And it's also funny because when you go to the Amazon links and you look at the list of other items that people have also viewed, it's all stuff from the blog. Everybody clicking the links to look at the stuff.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, your Amazon schematics have got to get really fucked up after you look at that. Because I know it always weirds me out when it suggests things to me. I'm like, how do you... Oh, that's right.
I gotta think about it. It's in my history, so
Analytics.
I'll throw it in a link in our
Yeah, I was gonna say
Facebook
because
thing.
I was gonna say some
You
of
guys can
the
see it.
stuff.
So log out of Amazon before
lot of
you
it
go onto that
is-
blog. Basically.
Well, see, that's why, like, you know, like I have set up. I have my day-to-day use browser where I will do things like go and look at weird stuff, and that will screw up schematics of my lists on things and stuff. You know, and then I have like my actual shopping browser, which is logged into my email address that I use for buying stuff online.
That's
and,
smart.
You know, I let the algorithms.
I can never remember my passwords. It's my problem. Everything's just open.
You know, and that has all the algorithms, so it doesn't give me like, you know, weird shit that would appear on Mike's history and things like that.
Mhm.
Like, you don't want to open a browser and go, what the?
Yeah.
Damn it, Mike! I didn't want to look at your tentacle porn sites. Wait, sorry. What?
No.
What are you doing? Are you trying to read more things, or are you just looking it up so
Are
you
you
can...
stroking his phone screen?
No, you guys go ahead. I'm
okay.
trying to
Go, Mason, go.
find it real quick.
All
so I can
right.
Get it to you guys.
So now I'm going to jump on the Doctor Who bandwagon
Yay.
with the build your own sonic screwdriver
That was pretty cool.
I would love to build my own time.
because it's just, well,
It is what it
It's-
is.
it's- build your own sonic screwdriver. Can things, I mean, really, is there much more awesomeness than building your own sonic screwdriver? Right? Yeah. So yeah, but it's a combination of pieces and bits to make sonic screwdrivers with, and that is awesome, and would give me hours of entertainment, and would probably result in me carrying one around on a regular basis.
Which is kind of funny because it looks like it's just bits and pieces from other doctors.
It is 3 doctor screwdrivers.
Okay.
And they actually have expansion packs out for it now that I saw one of down at Barnes & Noble that was, I can't remember which one it was, but it was another screwdriver, another sonic screwdriver. I'm trying to remember whose it was, but it's not one of those original 3 that are in there that you can mix and match. They had a 4th one, and I'm trying to remember whose it was, but it was all of the same style of parts, but it was a standalone. So you could mix it in with those.
Okay, I'm going to put this out there because I wish Sonicare would have gotten on this, but apparently there's an electric toothbrush that's a sonic screwdriver.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It should have been Sonicare.
A lot cheaper than a Sonicare, that's for damn sure. It's
Is
like
it?
$15.
All right. So I got the link on our
I saw that
Facebook
pop
thing.
up, yeah.
What?
The link itself
Oh.
is okay for, safe for work, but some of the links from it are not. Just a heads up.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's
Okay.
my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay. My next thing is, I don't even remember how I found this. I just found it. That was the coolest thing ever. Do you know somebody who really likes cooking and does not have a lot of counter space, like college students, people in apartments? There's a lot of us out there that just don't have a lot of space.
Anyone with a modernly built kitchen, because they keep trying to minimize the amount of space they put in their kitchen.
My kitchen in our place, it was built in the 70s, and it is just the tiniest kitchen, and it drives me nuts because I like to cook. It's a fun thing. I have no counter space, and when you have 3 cats, your counter space is diminished by half because I'm sorry, no matter how hard you try, you can't keep 3 cats off the counter. No. I move to the other counter when they jump up so that I don't have to worry about fuzzy food, but, it's impossible. So finding room for spice racks and things like that, it's just impossible. I've made do by hanging mine on the wall, but I wish I'd had this. It's magnetic hexagonal spice jars that have the name, they come filled with spices, and they have the names of the spices stamped at the bottom so you can stack them. And it's got really cool pictures in the link. You can stick them to your fridge and it makes like a honeycomb shape.
Nice.
It kind of reminds me of that periodic table of spices picture that was floating around the Pinterests a couple years ago. It's not super cheap, but it does come with all the spices and their hand-stamped lids, and it's pretty.
Yeah, you're definitely paying for the jars here.
Yeah.
And depending on the spices that it come with,
And
pay
it-
for the spices.
Exactly.
Too.
And
So like if it has saffron in it.
I looked at the bottom and it actually does come in smaller sized options, but they don't come with the spices in them. Like you can get what are you doing? Why do you keep scrolling back that way?
Sweet.
There's a 10 hex option. There's a 24 hex option with no spices. That's $85. This one comes with the spices, 24 jars, super awesome magnetic, $125. It is not cheap, but it's pretty. And if you know someone, you need to get them a housewarming gift for their new tiny apartment. This would be a great thing.
So he's got allspice, basil, cayenne, chili flakes, cinnamon ground, or ground cinnamon, cloves, coriander, cumin, curry, dill, fennel, garlic, ginger, mustard, onion, oregano, paprika, parsley, pepper, rosemary, sage, sea salt, turmeric, and thyme. Basically anything that you would ever need to use in any basic recipe.
Yep. And no saffron, because that shit's more expensive than
We
gold.
found really cheap saffron, and I think it's because it's unsorted, so it's still got flour chunks in it.
Oh.
But we found it super, super, super cheap, like $3 for a huge bag of it at one of the ethnic markets, and we
Okay.
stocked up on it, and I love it. Yeah, as somebody who started out 2 years ago only having Lowry's seasoning salt and garlic powder in their kitchen.
Hell yeah.
Right? And then I decided I wanted to learn how to cook, because if you're making ramen and scrambled eggs, Lowry's is great.
I always thought the Lowry seasoned salt just made all meats taste better.
It makes lots of things taste better.
It's like
but
bright orange. And
it also makes lots of things taste like sodium and MSG.
That's what made it taste better.
It's umami. It's okay. When I was first starting out, if somebody had gotten me this, I think I would have shat my pants with joy. Like, this is all the spices that I ended up stocking
I
up
think if
on.
someone got them for you, you'd still shat your pants with
I would still shit my
There's
pants
a
with
whole lot
joy,
of
yeah.
pants shatting on this episode.
Yeah, you know what? It's because shat's a good word. That's why we like William Shatner.
Especially when it's preceded by Bill.
One of the gems that I found on my laptop when I pulled all my music off of it was a bunch of Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner albums.
Oh,
Jesus.
Oh my god. I think I've got some on here. Yeah, so that was my only item.
So is it my
If the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins starts playing.
Bilbo
Baggins.
Oh, Jesus.
You're welcome.
The next one I have here is for if you're a nerd who likes to stay in shape. Don't laugh at that.
I'm not. I'm laughing because I found it and I really wanted to play it.
Well,
I'm waiting. It's okay.
okay.
Go ahead. I'm not going to play it. It's just really hard.
So I'm a big fan of the Fitbit. They're pretty super rad and super awesome, and they recently, in the last few months, I believe, just released a new version of their armband one. I can't remember what it's called. But I personally have a Fitbit One, which is just their main one that just clips on.
If you ride a scooter or a motorcycle, don't leave it clipped to your pocket on your ride home. There's my handy tip.
Thank you for that tip, Nikki. Sounds like you know from life experience.
Sorry, continue.
They're pretty cool. They'll run for about 6 days or so before really running on low on battery life, and they sync with pretty much fucking everything, which is
They're
nice.
amazing.
They come with a little USB dongle that you put into your computer. If you have an Android phone, it'll link with your Android phone, via Bluetooth, I think. For some reason it doesn't link with the iPhone app, but whatevs. Oh yeah, sorry, Nikki's got an iPhone.
Well, but I don't have a Fitbit anymore, so it's fine.
But it does link up with your PC, so that's
Every
all
time
good.
you walk by it.
Yeah, as soon as you're within like 30 feet or so, it syncs. It tracks your steps, tracks your calories, tracks, it syncs with your MyFitnessPal app, which is free, which is also super awesome. So if you want a really cheap gift, tell somebody to go download the MyFitnessPal app. But it syncs with that, which is kind of cool because once you record physical activity, it'll actually sync that with the time that you were using your Fitbit and recalibrate how many calories were actually burned during that time period versus, what would have been used if you were just normally walking. Also tracks your sleep, which is kind of cool. It'll track your sleep patterns to see actually what kind of quality sleep that you're getting and at what times of periods of the night. The new one that they had just released, cause I was actually really interested in the armband, but it didn't have a readout on it. But now they've released an armband one that, guess what?
Has a readout?
Has a readout on it. It's $130. So it's not, compared to other exercise things out there.
That's about how much
like
the Nike one
Body Bug and
is.
stuff. Yeah, it's actually not that bad. The Fitbit One is $100. So if you wanted to go with the clip version, you can. I like the wristbands ones because I like to wear them as a watch. The cool thing about the wristband one too is that it's constantly within your view. You can kind of see what's going on with it at any given time. And all it just looks like a rubber strap that you just clip on.
It turns getting into shape into like a video game almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can see your stats. It encourages you to do things like go upstairs and so cool.
Again, if you like gadgety stuff and you're looking into getting into shape and you need something to help you out, this is actually a really good option in my opinion. And it's actually price-wise not a bad option either. And if you're gonna buy one, go to oneupyourlife.com. There's going to be a little banner at the top of the page there. And you click that and it'll take you to the Fitbit page and that'll actually help us.
That's how I bought mine.
Yeah. I have like $27 in commissions that I still
You're
haven't
welcome.
been paid for. I think you have to hit a certain point in commissions in order for them to actually cut you a check. Yeah. But yeah, if you're going to buy one, go there. There's a little banner at the top. Number one, upyourlife.com. And yeah, it's a webpage that really hasn't had anything done to it in 4 months. Pretty much since we started this podcast. But,
who has time for two things anymore, really?
Yeah, I just have no time to update it. I really want to continue that website, but time is of the essence, and work is constantly calling.
And that's the thing that you get money for, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway. Fitness. Yay!
Yay!
Mike! Are
Yay.
we on your last, are you on the last one now?
Yeah, I got one more left.
Was that the only one who had 6?
I had 5.
I had 5.
You said 5.
I said 5 or 6.
Maybe Dustin just wanted extra credit.
Yeah.
Teacher's pet.
So,
I don't have to do the last one, to be honest with you, so it's all good.
website I found called coolminiornot.com.
Awesome website.
Mm-hmm. So, there's just, you need a miniature for something, just go there, you'll find it. It's there.
And I'm guessing by miniatures you mean like for D&D and
Yeah, per
D&D,
whatever
war
game.
games.
war
Yeah.
games, D&D, any type of genre you could want. A lot of the companies that have set up on there too are got some really good artists. I was actually impressed with the quality of work from a lot of the minis I'm seeing on there.
Yeah, actually, on Cool Mini or Not, is actually if you are into painting miniatures at all, be it for war games or just to paint them for fun or for use with D&D or whatever, Cool Mini or Not is a really cool website because you can actually honestly get good feedback from people about your miniatures and your techniques, because everyone there loves minis, and you'll get the occasional jerk because it's the internet. But most of the people that, like, other people there will, like, you know, basically out the troll for you, and, you know, and then go and then be like, okay, now that we've yelled at the troll, you know, here's some real serious, you know, critique of the mini, and, you know, things you could try to work on, things that you're doing great, you know, things that, you know, and also you can get a lot of advice on how to paint, and, you know, always one of the things is, you know, for any artist doing anything like that is you can look at other people's stuff and get some inspiration. And like, you know, like I said, they sell about every miniature on the planet. There's brands there that I'm like, who?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty big into painting minis. So
Mike, what's the, is it, so that's what you're saying? It's just people who go out and buy minis and then just paint them.
Well, it's got
themselves?
I mean, you got painted minis that are posted there, so, you know, it's like, do you like this pic.com kind of stuff?
Like hot
But
or
it's
not?
minis. Yeah, hotornot.com. But for minis.
but for minis, yes.
Shut up, we've all been there.
And
No, I know.
have-
It's just funny that you
Actually-
compared it to Hot or Not. I've never been there, but I know what it is.
So 2 of us have never been to Hot or Not.
no comment.
Whatever. Mike, I'm
So,
with you, buddy. It's okay, keep going.
Yeah, but they also have a shop there.
Yeah.
So there's a shop with just tons of stuff in here. I mean,
Yeah.
give you a few ideas. They got, well, actually, sorry, my list is too small to read.
But you got your new gigantic, big, super Samsung
big
Note
list.
3.
Yeah, it's a big
It's a
list.
big list.
Got lots of stuff in here. So, for example, they got one that's Soda Pop, which is like anime style, which is hard to find.
I would also like to point out that Soda Pop Miniatures is here in Boise, Idaho.
Seriously?
Yep.
I did not know that.
My
So-
phone's gonna die before we
I'm
get in
pulling
our
it up now.
lists.
No.
Yeah,
A
Tokyo
star
Pop
just flew across the room. What
Culture.
happened?
With a rainbow tail?
Yeah, it was awesome and pretty.
Okay, so yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, so definitely a lot of cool stuff there. It's really good for things like when you have a long-running campaign and you got a character that you've been playing for a while and you want to get yourself a good mini for it. This is a good place to go to get that because you can find a lot of unique stuff.
Sweet.
I'm on there right now checking it out.
Bam.
Doing things and stuff.
It's great.
I think I'll just omit my
Cool.
last one because it's one I did for Mike Dodd, and
Okay.
we're running at the 2-hour mark right now. So
All right. So, my next one, number 2, so we're getting close to number 1, is Rocket Computer Peripherals. Rocket is a German maker of high-end gaming peripherals. So mice, keyboards, headsets, and mouse pads, etc. I am, and have been for a long time, a big fan of Razer. However, I have been talking to people in my main guild that I'm with in most MMOs, and also with my guild for, or whatever you want to call us, mercenary company, whatever, for MechWarrior Online. And I've talked to a lot of people that can have used both Rocket and Razer products. And generally, they prefer the Rocket products because, well, thank you for being great engineers, Germans. And the link I gave is for ThinkGeek, because Rocket stuff was very hard to get in America for a while, and the selection was very limited. Not that ThinkGeek has everything from them, but they have a good selection compared to a lot of places you can get their gear in America.
That Rocket, the Cone XTD mouse.
Yes.
That thing looks baller.
Yeah.
Oh, that's some pretty stuff.
Yeah. And the Rios, I believe is how you say it, or Rios keyboards are mechanical keyboards. And you can get them with 4 different cherry switch options. So you can get different levels of force, tactile, and auditory feedback.
Nice.
Yes.
That is sick. Okay.
So yeah.
Is that the same guild I just joined up, by the way?
Yashkia? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh. So, you saw the Elder Scrolls Online release plan?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Now I just need to know whether or not they're going to have a physical collector's edition.
Yeah. Okay. We'll keep an eye. I'm sure they're going to say something soon.
They will, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. The Rocket Apiary?
Apuri, yeah.
The USB with a mouse budgie?
Yes. This keeps, like, I do actually have this problem a lot of the time where my mouse cable snags, like on the back of my desk. And with this, it's held and suspended. So you're only moving what's between the bungee and the mouse itself.
Interesting.
Plus it's 4 extra USB ports in a place that's far more convenient than the back of my computer.
Mm.
Just saying.
That.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, they make some cool stuff. And from what I've heard from people that have used both, Rocket makes better stuff. It's just hard to get their stuff in the US, and now ThinkGeek carries it. So there you go. More reason to go to ThinkGeek. And, yeah. Cool, awesome gaming peripherals.
Yay.
And Dustin, they like things that glow blue.
I saw that.
Okay.
I did see that the initial keyboard does blue, green, and red.
Yes.
But yeah,
Blue.
I do like blue.
I know.
Nikki.
So, my next item.
I was noticing that this is in papyrus.
What is?
Right next to the picture. Okay, go ahead.
Did you just interrupt me to
I'm sorry.
rant about papyrus?
I did.
Seriously?
That's how much.
His hatred of papyrus goes beyond
It
modesty.
just makes him rude.
And propriety.
Jesus. So my next thing is Incubot has come up with a plan. They're not actually, I don't think, it doesn't look like they're made yet. It says the orders will ship in February 2014. So I guess maybe it wasn't a good item to pick for a Christmas list.
However, if it's a cool enough item for that geek in your life,
yeah,
they may be
give
willing
them
to
the
wait.
receipt and send them to the website and they'll do a happy little jig. It is a die-cast Firefly Serenity USB thumb drive.
Yes, those are awesome. I've seen them.
The engines light up. It is beautiful. It's really, really pretty and
I'm
shiny
looking
and
at it.
glorious.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's pretty much the coolest thumb drive you could possibly have. And added bonus, you can go with it. I mean, come
I
on.
aim to misbehave.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just,
And the actual USB thing retracts.
So it just looks like the Serenity.
Yeah, so you just got a little die-cast Serenity, and all of a sudden, what? Oh, yeah, I have things stored on it.
okay.
What?
Yeah.
I have to get a little ragey here for a second.
Oh, God, what?
So, and I forgive them because it's Firefly. Now, not necessarily the Firefly logo, but the Serenity logo
Was in
fucking
Papyrus.
Papyrus.
Was in Papyrus on the show
That's
and
how it
on
was
the
on the
ship.
show, yeah.
No, it hurts.
Dustin, you don't get to ruin Firefly because of Papyrus.
I don't.
Brown coat
No.
for life. What?
Yeah, that's not a fight that you're gonna win, buddy.
I know.
I don't think anyone's hatred of Papyrus is gonna overrule their love of Firefly.
It does not overshadow the awesomeness.
Why do you guys have to ruin my list? First Mike with his comment. Now
sorry.
Dustin. Mason, don't you turn against me too,
I'm
buddy.
not going to turn against you. I'm your buddy.
Thank you. We're not fighting right now. We might. At some point, but we're not right now. It's okay.
I'm just trying to make heads or tails of this picture they got of it with the robots in the background. I'm like,
They do robotic USB drives that transform and are cool.
those are.
That's what they do.
It's like
freaking
Voltron.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. there's
Did you never
Voltron,
see
there's a big,
the 16 gig USB drive that transforms into a laptop and then into a robot?
It's pretty cool.
No.
Yeah,
have not.
there is one of those out there.
But I am digging that Voltron. Okay. I'm good.
Dude, they need to make a Voltron one where you get 5 USB drives. And it can stack together into the Voltron.
And then when it plugs in, it calculates it as one massive.
It turns into like an external hard drive.
So the black line's just
Well, you
Do it.
Do the arms and legs as USB drives and the black lion, the torso, as a external.
Can I add a
a
second
hub?
thing to this?
Like
I'm on that minis website right now, and if anyone wanted to get me a female dwarf mini for Christmas, that would be on my list now too.
But no, do the center lion.
They're pretty cool.
A hard drive, an external hard drive, and then have the 4 USB drives attached to it as a hub.
That would be pretty badass.
Yes, it would. Mm-hmm. So if anyone's out there listening, send your royalties to.
So Bandai or whoever is the owner of Voltron currently.
Yeah.
Get on it.
So yeah.
So we got NASA and Voltron together in this episode that both owe us money now.
Yes.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Google owes us money too somewhere, but
Jesus, don't say things like that. You're gonna piss off the Google.
Don't piss off the Google.
Please don't piss off the
it's
Google.
okay.
well, we're in audio format, whatever. If YouTube kicks us
Google
out,
won't really miss the millions. It's fine.
We're asking Google for millions now? Oh my god, you guys.
We're holding this.
So anyway, what's your last one, sir?
I don't know. My last one is pretty simple. It's a book I had read recently that kind of helped me.
Peace and goodwill towards men.
Kind of.
Oh.
Well, not. I mean, so motivational books.
Haven't you ever heard of Peace on Earth and Goodwill Towards Men? No!
Hey,
Sorry, had to throw a Nightmare Before Christmas reference in somewhere in the Christmas episode.
It's true.
Is this the Christmas episode?
I guess. Well, it's a Christmas-y episode.
Well, I won't be here next week.
It's our Christmas
so.
Capitalism episode.
Christmas Capitalism episode.
Yes.
Oh,
Next
you
one will be our
guys.
Christmas Communism episode.
Okay, we'll figure out how to.
Good day for communism.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
So anyway, go ahead.
All right.
A book. This helps you.
Book. I bought it on my Nook. Sounds like a beginning of a Dr. Seuss
The book.
paragraph.
The book on my Nook.
The book on my Nook.
The book on my Nook fell in the brook. I have a broken Nook.
Please stop.
Is a book called Tough Shit: Life Advice from a Fat Lazy Slob Who Did Good. Author of one of my favorite people on the planet, Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith obviously is, if you're listening to this podcast, I would imagine 99, if not 100% of you know who he is. He's the creator, director, writer of Clerks, Clerks 2, Jay and Silent Bob, Dogma, Chasing Amy, soon to be Clerks 3, Red State.
Lots of things.
Geely.
No.
I'm joking with you.
I thought it was a very funny joke.
Oh, and that's, and what Geely is because of, is Jersey Girl.
Yeah.
That's like the whole
I
reason.
think that was the joke.
Yeah.
No. Anyway. So, Kevin Smith wrote a book. Well, don't laugh at me.
I think he's laughing at himself at this point.
What?
No, I'm laughing at the fact that you are like getting, hit, like, falling right into my jokes tonight.
He
So
figures he
beautiful.
broke the beginning of the podcast. He's going to break the end, too.
That's just how this night's been going for me, so. So Tough Shit is a book basically kind of, it's almost a motivational book, which is kind of cool. Cause I like books about leadership and motivation and stuff like that. And when it's coming from somebody who I admire, that makes it even that much more effective, especially because I know enough about Kevin Smith, just by being his fan for the last several years. I can hear him speak about it, as I read, and it kind of, it's really nice. It's kind of about how his career, his family life, what he did to deal with things when times got hard and stuff like that. And it kind of, it's just kind of a solid look into, how you can make your life better by kind of almost following your dreams, but not going to a point where it's gonna like fucking kill you to do it. So basically, if you're motivated enough to get out there and do something, then he kind of lets you know that it is possible. So, which is kind of why we're here right now.
Okay, Kermit.
But because this is something I enjoy doing, I don't expect to make money off of it. In fact, it's costing us more money to produce this thing than it is to I was going with that thought somewhere. And then brain went poof.
Brain go poof.
Brain go poof.
It's costing us more money to actually produce it than we are actually even making anything off of it. That's for damn sure, which would be nothing.
Right.
So after I'm done paying for the monthly server space and the equipment that I'm still continuing to buy, I just bought a new fancy schmancy cable, which you heard me use earlier, because it was exciting.
It's a good cable.
It is a good cable. It allows me to patch things in and be able to adjust the volume from my board versus my computer, which makes it that much more convenient, which is nice, which will come in good for Skype calls and hopefully maybe future interviews with people from across the way.
Yes.
So,
by the way, he means anything outside of Boise.
Yes, because I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. So yeah, I would recommend it if you want a good book that's got good life advice and good motivation from a guy that we can all relate to. Go pick it up. It's about it seems to range between $8 and $15 depending on the format. Paperback was like $13. Audible was like $15. I think when I bought it on Nook, it was like $10. So It just kind of depends on whether you want it in audio or if you want to be able to read it, that type of thing. So, my link will be up on Amazon and it'll have all the different formats that you can buy from. Anyway. Alright. Mike, what's the last thing on your list?
Oh, do you want the last thing on my list?
Oh yeah. Mason.
All
What's
right.
the last thing on your list?
The last thing on my list is one of those things that, well, the company should have known they produced more than they did, and is one of the kind of a hot commodity for getting geeks this Christmas season. Firefly, the game by Gale Force 9 Publishing. It is a Serenity Firefly themed board game, and they're selling out everywhere. When I last looked at the link, Amazon had 15 left, and there's not many other places that had any.
One left in stock.
One left in stock now. So it'll be gone by the time anybody hears this. But yeah, Gale Force 9 should have known to publish more of them than they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's when I first heard about the announcement of the board game, back in June, I think, maybe before that, I was like, doing a happy dance around my room, or, because I, like I've said many times, I'm a brown coat, and from the description I got of the game, it looks like it's a lot of fun, and yeah, hopefully someone had the foresight to get me one, or one of my friends one, and if not, you're bad people. Or that Gale Force 9 hopefully does a second run of them soon.
So somebody says, so when the customer questions and answers, how many players minimum and maximum to play? 1 to 4. Wouldn't you need at least one other player to play?
No, you don't. You can play it as a solitaire game. Because you can put your...
If you heard the audible that came out of my brain.
That was Dustin's brain popping.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anybody playing a board game by themselves before, so.
you can play it as a solitaire game because there's a deck of events that happen that you draw one on your turn.
Mm-hmm.
And, basically you can set it up to have, win and loss conditions for a single player versus being the first one to accomplish all of the objectives. Basically, you have to accomplish the objectives within a certain time frame, and the bad cards can hinder you from doing so.
Oh fuck! It's Omega Virus. You guys ever play Omega Virus back in the day?
No.
No,
I haven't heard of that one.
Omega Virus was a game where it was a board game you could play 1 to 4 players, but it worked with one player because there was a central computer in the middle of the board that would talk shit back to you and stuff like that. So the object of the game was to find the keys, get to the door, and try and defeat the computer in the middle of the game before it goes batshit crazy. And you can set it for easy, medium, hard. Basically, all of those were just different time frames. So I think like easy was 30 minutes, hard was 20 minutes, and then like very hard was 15 minutes or something. And you had that long, and it kept a ticker, and then it would randomly come up and just, you human scum, like it would just talk shit to you.
But the way the game, you can play it as a single player game because of, giving yourself victory conditions to win or lose by.
Yeah, okay.
And there, it's not necessarily a cooperative game because you are playing against the other players, but when you're playing it multiplayer, but there's also a way to play it as a single player game, which I thought was really cool. And I want 5 Serenities to paint.
Don't they just come?
They come as just basic plastic that's colored. I would leave the bases colored so you could tell which ones was whose, but paint the actual ships to be, all metallic and rusty and look like they're in the verse.
Use Papyrus font to paint Serenity on the side.
No.
Okay.
Get off the papyrus, dude. Seriously.
Sorry.
But yeah, so that would be my last one.
Nikki, you're last up, man. This is it. Make it good.
Well, Jesus.
No pressure.
Warn me if I'm going to be the make it good person. Well, my last one is Chris Hadfield's book, An Astronaut's Guide to Life on Earth. Basically, because he...
Oh, this is the guy they had on Nerdist.
Yeah, they had him on Nerdist. He's
Okay.
delightful.
Right. And he's an astronaut.
He's an
and
astronaut,
cool.
which in and of itself is badass. He recorded David Bowie's Space Oddity on the International Space Station with David Bowie's blessing and made the first music video in space. He's also just a delightful human who's been trying to make space accessible to the common man. I mean, he tweets photos from the space station. He does
ring the towel.
Yeah, he chats with kids on his lunch break in schools. He's just an amazing human that there need to be more people like, and he wrote a book about his journey thus far. And based on hearing his interview on the Nerdist, it's probably going to be a pretty funny, entertaining read. So if you know a bookworm who enjoys such things,
I think he was trying to talk about how to poop in space.
Yeah,
too,
he's done videos on everything. He answers questions and he answers them honestly. He's really big on social media, and he just it's.
Well, his son helps him out with
his son helps him out because they only have so much bandwidth up there.
Yeah.
But he'll basically tweet out a photo and then his son will repost it on Facebook with captions and things. But yeah, it's just very cool that he's making, because NASA's not as popular and
as it should be.
Yeah, as it should be, and he's kind of making it so, I think. I can't brain anymore. No talk eloquently. But he's delightful and wrote a book that I would very much enjoy reading, and I would imagine that most people who listen to this podcast would feel similarly.
I do love a good biography book.
Yeah, I didn't used to. I'm starting to as I get older. It's weird. But yeah, that is one that I would thoroughly enjoy reading. I mean, okay, just to pique your interest. God, I can't fucking
What
talk.
son of a bitch reviewed this with 2 stars?
I don't know, but the cover is an astronaut riding a skateboard. I mean, it's just cool. Who did 2 stars. I'm gonna.
Jeffrey Goldberg.
Damn it! I deliberately.
MD. This is a doctor talking.
Oh Jesus!
Poorly written at an 8th grade level, an opportunity for some amazing photographs and explanations of scientific experiments was missed.
It's not about
I'm
science.
clicking not
No,
helpful.
it's not.
I clicked
And
not helpful
also,
because
written at an
you're-
8th grade level is brilliant for that book, because talking to people who are in their 20s and 30s and 40s, you're either A, preaching to the choir, who
You're
already
not-
agrees with you.
You're not talking to people who all have doctorates.
No.
Well, no, just written in a quote-unquote adult level.
Yeah.
If you're looking at people 20s, 30s, and 40s, you're missing your opportunity because you're basically preaching to the choir of either people who are already academically with you or are at least going, they're already the people who have decided they have a vested interest in space and space exploration and NASA and already care about it. Putting it at an 8th grade level is great because you want to capture the imaginations of 8th graders while they have time to decide they want to learn more math and do more physics and chemistry and become scientists.
Maybe you should respond to his review with exactly what you just said, because that would be amazing.
Guy probably, if he put MD after his name.
Well, and he's probably not.
Yeah,
but,
he's probably either not or he is, and he's just jealous that he's not an astronaut.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird because he's. Let's see.
Are you gonna internet stalk this dude?
Oh,
Let's
see,
internet shame him for talking badly about the most amazing human on the
to
planet.
see if he had if he had other reviews on anything, but that's the only one he's got.
So he probably recreated the account specifically to talk smack.
I'm a doctor.
Haters gonna hate, man.
Yep.
But yeah, just
Anyway.
that was I'm sorry I didn't end it on a more incredible note, but
No, I think it's
No,
pretty
that's
awesome
pretty damn
note.
awesome. If
Okay.
you ask me, I would love to have a copy of that book.
I haven't bought an actual physical book in a long time, and the last several books that I bought were at used bookstores because I love used bookstores. They're great. You never know what you're going to find.
One of the things just on the whole book thing versus the physical versus electronic book. I have a Nook. I have 2 books on it. I also own those books in physical copies.
I own a Kindle, one of the first gen Kindles, only because my mother gave it to me when she got an iPad. The only books I have on there are really shitty free books that I got off the
but
internet.
I personally, I want to hold that physical real book in my hands still.
I've
I
yet
love,
to finish a book on my Kindle because it's just not the same.
Yeah. I love that smell of the worn pages that I have flipped through.
That's why I like used bookstores. You get the old
Yeah.
books. Like there's one down in Hyde Park that's my favorite. It's the best.
I got a box full of used books at the auction, the Main Street auction.
Oh, nice.
And the reason we got it is because we thought they would look really cool up on our shelf above our
cool,
kitchen,
yeah.
you know. And we got to read through them. These are like books from like the 40s and 50s, and one of them's written completely in German.
Nice. That's awesome.
And
Is it called Mein Kampf?
no, it is not.
40s and 50s written in German.
It's pretty cool looking at these books, and they just got that old antique-y smell to them, you know.
Yeah.
And we actually, one of them's Tarzan. Like
Yeah.
They've actually made a thing that can analyze books based on their smell. It's a machine. I swear I read about this.
What?
Well, basically, the different smells of books mean different things. Like it's got certain glues in it, or certain things were used in the paper, and it's.
Yeah.
I heard about it years ago, and it might have been just like a CSI bullshit thing, but.
Yeah. But, and one of the things I'm happy about, I saw pretty recently, like a couple of months ago, they did a study, for like using a few hundred kids. So technically on the low end of being statistically significant, but enough kids to be statistically significant. And they found that an overwhelming majority of kids prefer having real books to electronic things like the Nook or the Kindle. And while I see practical uses for the Nook and the Kindle, and, tablets in general, it makes me happy in my nerdy bits that kids still appreciate real books.
Well, I mean, they still buy vinyl.
I don't understand that part though.
I actually have a turntable and a bunch of vinyl, but that's because my dad had told me if I bought a turntable, he would give me his old vinyl, and he's got like the original Woodstock album and cool stuff like that.
Oh, well, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
But
He just never followed through, so now I've only got my own shitty little collection that I've picked up at thrift stores, but...
yeah, I was saying, but my thing is that like people are like, oh, the music's more real on vinyl. No, it's really not.
It's not.
That is because like all those hisses and pops.
I like the hisses and pops because I grew up listening to that.
But that's not how the artist intended the music.
No,
to be.
it's not.
And the purest form of music, as far as how artists probably wanted it to be, is like a high-end FLAC file.
Yeah,
Because-
no, absolutely. And I like if I'm doing pretty much anything, I like listening to my MP3 player.
Yeah.
If I'm at home though, just like enjoying coffee and it's like a rainy day or whatever, it's fun to listen to the records once in a while. I've got a bunch of old ones from the 40s and some old jazz music from the 20s. I've got some of those really thick, like super thick, heavy
My
vinyl.
grandpa does,
Yeah,
too.
I got a bunch of them off Craigslist for free from a dude. I was going to be making record bowls for Christmas, but they were too thick to do record bowls with, so I kept them and I like them and they're great.
And they weigh like 5 pounds.
Oh god, they're so heavy, but they're so fun to listen to because it's just neat. And we've got some old records that were my grandma singing opera back in the day. And
You remember the old peel out singles that you could get out of like comics and magazines? and stuff like
Yeah.
And you had to put them on top of like another 45.
that? Yeah. That's good time.
Yeah, I've got a little. It looks like an old radio, but it's got a CD player in it and a cassette tape player on the side, which is broken, which makes me sad.
It's a cassette tape player. It's the least useful one they have.
Yeah, but I've still got a bunch of my old tapes that I'd love to be able to listen to sometime just for fun. And now I don't have anything to listen to them on, and I really just don't give two shits enough to buy something. So.
I still have a Jen for. This is how I knew I had to keep her for a wife right here. She got me the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Coming Out of Their Shells tour, still wrapped on cassette form.
That's pretty awesome.
And I need to get a hold of my uncle who has a cassette to USB converter.
That's a thing. That's really cool.
Yeah, they got a vinyl.
We got
one,
my
too.
dad a vinyl one once. I didn't know there was a cassette one. Though.
Yep.
Yeah, and
cool.
I gotta get him to rip that for me so I can put it on my MP3 player or something.
That'd be pretty cool.
Because it needs to exist in my life because I don't have a tape player anymore.
Yeah. Angela's car doesn't even have one, actually. Which bums me out because I've got my old crisscross cassette tape.
What?
They make you jump.
My dad actually, when he got his car, he retrofit an 8-track player into it.
Nice.
That was
So you could play like the Foghat.
like old Elvis and yeah. Anyway, I think that wraps up our gift guide.
Yes.
We just ended it on a 5-minute tangent.
As Nikki just face plants the mic.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our holiday gift guide. We'll end it here. Merry Christmas to all you fine, fabulous people.
And happy holidays and whatever.
We'll still probably be recording a show next Sunday. It just may be the three of us. I'm
That'd be
also
ridiculous.
considering seeing if maybe we can get a hold of Jake to pop in as a substitute for one show. But he may be busy with his shtick down at the thing. So,
I would say probably on December 22nd. Yeah, he's going to be busy down at the Grove.
probably.
I have a feeling.
Or maybe even Zach. All right, well, maybe.
You guys will be fine without me. You don't need adult supervision.
All right, well, we'll end it there. For the Nerd Effect Podcast, we are...
Michael Morgan.
Mason, Ireland.
Nikki Bridle.
And I am Dustin Vancouver. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
And we'll see you next time.
Rocking around the microphone. Have a happy nerd effect.
Do.
Something and something, something else. And now I'm gonna go to bed.
And that'll be our ender.
Oh, you were still recording?
Yes.
Shit.